Wilson and the Seahawks travel across the country to take on Taylor Heineke and the Washington football team. Coverage starts at 7:30 right here on ESPN 690.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Kevin Witt. The Baltimore Orioles payroll for next season is expected to be around $37 million for the entire team. 25 players. The Pittsburgh Pirates, 40.2. Max Scherzer is going to make $43 million next year alone with the New York Mets. Max and the Mets agreeing on a 3-year, $130 million deal, 43 on the AAV. That means the top of the Mets rotation next year, Jacob deGrom and Mad Max. Christian McCaffrey's season done. Placed back on IR today by the Carolina Panthers with an ankle injury. Mike McCarthy has popped positive, not going to coach Thursday night when the Cowboys visit the Saints on Thursday Night Football. That opens Week 13. First, though, we got to close Week 12. We do that tonight, Monday Night Football, 8:15 on ESPN. Seattle visits Washington. Caesars Sportsbook has the Seahawks as a 1-point road favorite. Lee Elder, the first black player to compete at the Masters, has died at the age of 87. Elder made his groundbreaking appearance at Augusta National back in 1975. This past April, was named an honorary starter alongside Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player.
Coming up Tuesday, we're reacting to Monday Night Football as two teams try to keep their playoff hopes alive. Plus, are we reaching the beginning of the end for Russell Wilson in Seattle? Tuesday morning, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
All right, here's the deal. I'm going to do about half the show, then take 16 minutes off.
Okay.
If that's all right. We're going to come back in, deliver a huge take another 6 plays off.
Ooh, I see where we're going with
and
this
then we'll finish the game.
Ouch.
I mean the show.
Yeah.
How's that sound? Probably lose by a touchdown.
Sounds pretty familiar.
Tell me to get over the James Robinson stuff. Am I taking this too far? Am I getting carried away?
Are you getting carried away? I don't
know. I mean, I can't get over it.
I brought it in the press box and nobody said anything to me.
Well, I mean, I'd probably left by then.
Oh, I got you.
Maybe
yeah,
I'd stopped tweeting by then.
I thought Bevel was playing James Robinson in fantasy football, and that was the reason why.
Yeah, I mean, they still haven't given us a reasonable explanation about what went down. I mean, Urban Meyer just said about an hour ago that, hey, he's still a little banged up, and they thought Carlos Hyde was a little more explosive. Mm-hmm. He kind of hinted that they might have, the fumble, you sit down for a little bit. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was like a full benching. I mean, but this guy has not fumbled in like 400 carries, and he's fumbled twice in his career.
Yeah.
And if you start benching people for mistakes, then Carlos Hyde, by the way, shouldn't play, and neither should Laviska Shenault, and neither should, this entire team. So that's not a thing in the NFL, all right? I mean, unless it's just 5 fumbles, it's a problem. Then it becomes a thing. I mean, Tiki Barber, others have done that in their career. I mean, let's not turn this into a bench. If it's a benching, then Shad Khan should be calling down there today or in that office today and be like, what are you doing? He's like our best player.
So here's my issue with it, is that there is no consistency of how this team is going about supposedly maybe punishing their players for fumbling. Because I watched the game after my fight on Sunday, and I saw Laviska Shenault fumble. And literally the next series, correct me if I'm wrong, he was out there again.
I think so, too. Yeah.
So you don't bench Laviska Shenault for a half, for a quarter, for fumbling 2 weeks ago, but James Robinson fumbles for the first time in how many carries, and then he's nowhere to be found, especially in the red zone. So I have an issue with that when you're not being consistent of how you're going about trying to handle your guys. Oh, and by the way, the best guy of all in James Robinson, your biggest offensive playmaker, is not on the field. And then when you're asked about it with Urban Meyer, you don't really know because you don't micromanage. The last time I checked, Urban Meyer is an offensive-minded coach, right? He's responsible for this offense. Your thumbprint should be all over this offense. So if your best player on offense is not on the field when you're driving for a touchdown, you need to know that. And you need to raise questions and ask, well, why wasn't he out there? I understand that we're all in on the Carlos Hyde sweepstakes, former Ohio State Buckeye. You're a big fan of him, so be it. But I've talked about this in the show before. I would take a 70% James Robinson or 60% James Robinson over 100% Carlos Hyde right now in their careers. I simply would. So the fact that when the question is brought up and Urban Meyer's just like, that's not my thing. Well, it has to be your thing then. Like you have to take ownership of this. You're the head coach. You should be responsible of who's playing and who's not playing. Like, do you think if you ask Bill Belichick that question about a defensive player, you think he's going to be like, that's up to my son? I really don't. No.
Yeah.
Because it's Bill Belichick. Because he's Mr. Football. Because he has his thumbprint all over that defense. Like, that defense runs through him. Well, if you're Urban Meyer and you're an offensive-minded guy, you have to have your influence on this team, or else what are we doing?
Yeah, listen, he has – I don't know if I can criticize it now. Everybody's got their own styles, right? And Urban's style has worked over the years in college, not in the NFL. But if you're going to be the CEO guy that just trusts your offensive coordinator and everybody else to do their job, well, when it's not working, you got to step in. I mean, that's what overseers do. That's what management's there for. Like, that's what the CEO's there for. If something's not working, then you got to fix it. Like, you have to know. Like, we can't all be sitting there in the press box and in the stands and on our couches and say, why isn't James Robinson in the game for 16 plays, but the head coach doesn't ask that question? Like, what's Bernie Parmalee doing? He's the running backs coach. Mm-hmm. He knows who's a better player. I mean, he played in the NFL. This cannot be a punishment from fumbling. And by the way, you also have Bevel. And if he's lost in the playbook and because they have this confidence in every guy that's on the roster, well, fine. Then Brian Schottenheimer, pass game coordinator. Well, talk about the run a little bit, because your passing game guy, your quarterback, when he gets in the huddle and he sees no 25 in the game, he's probably like, what the hell? Why isn't this guy in the game? He hasn't been in the game for 5 plays, 7 plays, 9 plays, 11 plays, 14 plays, 16 freaking plays? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's unbelievable. And by the way, this is not like overreaction Monday, one time in 2021. This is like the 5th time we've had this discussion about James Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. He's a little banged up. But don't tell me they're protecting him because he's banged up. He touched the ball 20 times. I'm going to talk to James tonight, and I guarantee you, when I ask him, hey, could you have touched it 25? He's going to be like, yeah, it wouldn't have been fine.
Oh, no. I mean,
come on.
You saw the sideline reaction when they had to, when he wasn't in. You saw him walking down the sideline. He didn't appear to be happy, and I wouldn't have been happy either.
I wouldn't be happy if I'm James. Listen, I've already done this bit with him. I mean, I at the end of the show on Jags Report Live at Sneakers, like a month and a half ago, I brought every football I owned. And gave him the ball, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know that they have not given him the football 20 times in a game yet this year? Mm. He has not carried the football 20 times in a game this year. And I'll give you the last month because he was hurt and he was banged up and he was in and he was out. I get that.
Well, that's playing from behind.
And playing from behind. But we all know that this started with game 1. Mm-hmm. Why didn't he get the ball? Game 2, why didn't he get the ball more? Game 3, he started to get a little bit more. And we even said, it's still not enough. Mm-hmm. On your most important possessions, your most critical plays, why isn't he in the football game? Listen, Dare Ogunbowale, he's a great story. He's probably a great guy. He's not a bad player. What the hell is he doing trying to catch a football when you're down in the game and your best player is on the sideline for like 13 plays in a row at that point?
At the same, he has to catch that football.
And he has to catch the ball.
He is a receiving running back. He has to catch that ball.
I get it. Like, but you know what? James caught 80 passes last year.
I don't agree with Dario Ogunbowale being in the game whatsoever. James Robinson shouldn't have been in. And it comes down to, once again, it's just – when you watch these press conferences, when you see what's happening on the field, whether it's player to coach, coach to coach, I don't know, maybe GM to coach, there's a lack of communication. There is a lack of communication. Like, I guess Bevel has the final say of the roster, and that's not Urban Meyer's MO. The last time I checked, I feel like the head coach should be responsible of who plays, who's in there, and has, the final say of what goes on there. That doesn't seem to be the case. It seems that he's Bevel's show on offense. I guess if you're Urban Meyer, what is your goal? Like, what are you doing then? Are you trying to shape the culture? Are you trying to motivate your players? I don't know.
Well,
man.
listen, I do believe this, and I'm trying to take a step back here, and this isn't a defense of Urban Meyer, but I'm trying to look around this thing. I mean, everybody's frustrated in town. This is 2-9. We're going to talk about what bothers us the most, and I don't want to get too far into those weeds yet, but I think everybody's bothered by 2-9. I mean, it's supposed to feel different. It doesn't. They feel like they're regressing, and so obviously everything on Urban is fair game. It's criticism. He's running the show. He's getting paid a ton of money to turn this thing around, and we are seeing mistakes in Week 12 that really don't. That listen, I know other teams are making them, like the Lions. They stink. Chicago, they stink. The Cleveland Browns, they should be better. They made them last night. I get it. Other people make them. That's not a good excuse for you to make them. Like, that's why you are one of the highest paid coaches in the league to figure it out. And there's a lot to fix in Jacksonville. They were 1-15 last year, but this is what bothers me the most. I am okay with, I'm a players play the game guy. I'm a big-time players play the game guy. Like, I am not right on the coaches all the time. I know it feels like it probably this year, but I'm not that guy. Like, I have died on hills for coaches for a long time, and probably wrongfully so, you know?
Yeah.
But you have to control what you can control, right? I mean, that is like an old phrase in life, but also in sports, it's a cliche. I can't control if Laviska Shenault can't run the damn right route if I'm the coach. I told him 50 times to do it, and he's not doing it. I don't think I can control that.
Well,
if he drops the ball.
But then, yeah, you can control that.
All right, well, maybe you can control that.
You can absolutely control
that. If
that.
Trevor throws it inaccurate, I can't control that. If Laviska drops the ball, I can't control that. If James Robinson fumbles it, I can't control that as a coach. I've taught him how to carry the football, or at least I think I can control personnel. That's what I'm getting at. I can control when my guys are in the game. I can control who's in the game, and I can control what play is called. And sooner or later, Urban Meyer, when he does not hear James Robinson in the football game, my best, but you cannot have that much blind faith in Carlos Hyde. He has not done enough this year to show us that he's that good. He is not as good as James Robinson. He is definitely not as good. And when you're trying to come back and big, you know what? They figured it out. They figured it out on remember when he caught the 26-yard play? Nice catch. Then he sat for 6 plays. He sat for 6 plays. You know what most guys do? They get a breather for a play. Well, they figured it out. They were like, oh, shoot, just 3rd and 1. We need James. Yeah. They got him. They put him in. By the way, I think there might have been a timeout or something to get James in the game. Because they were getting super slow, getting out of the huddle and all those things. I think they had to burn a timeout, or maybe there's a stoppage in play. And then he carried it on 1st down to the 3, and then they had the holding call, set him back, and then they had to kick the field goal. But it took him 6 plays even in that situation to realize, oh, shoot, we need like our best player on offense on the field right now. But for 16 plays there in the second quarter, that didn't hit them. Like, that didn't hit them. Yeah. At all. And by the way, it's almost like they're surprised we're asking the questions. Like, look, I mean, have a pulse, guys. I mean, have a feel for this thing. He is your best player, and this has become a week in, week out conversation of James Robinson. I'm telling you what, man, this guy deserves to get paid at the end of the year. If I'm his agent, I'm asking out of here.
Sure.
We already had this conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine they don't like James Robinson. I think they talk about his toughness.
But they also drafted Travis Etienne and brought in Carlos Hyde, and it was when the first depth chart came out. So how much did you like him?
You could sit here and I'll give you 10 reasons why, if I'm in James Robinson's camp, I'm like, I don't think they really like the guy. You know, I guess I refuse to believe that, because we can't be that stupid. He's a good player, and you want good players on your football team, especially one that is void of them. But I mean, that's what bothers me, man. You got to be able to control what you can control. And like, no basketball team would not have their best player in the game in the final situation or in a big situation in the fourth quarter. Nobody would sit their guys. Why are the Jags sitting their best player for long stretches at crucial times in the game, not just yesterday, but at various times this year? It's inexplicable. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to take away from this game, and you have to keep in mind, too, that the Falcons team that came in to Jacksonville, they are not a good team. All right,
they stink.
They are not a good defense. Their offense is suspect at best. The Falcons were not a good team, and they looked like a pretty dang good team, especially in the first half yesterday. You know, eventually you get to the point where you keep doing the same things over and over, where that becomes your identity, and that's who you are. if you look at the penalties, the Jaguars right now lead the league in penalties and offense, okay? That's who they are. On defense, it's a lot better in terms of penalties. Now, there's mental errors all over the place and yada, yada. But I'm talking about in penalties, in terms of preparation, it's not there for the offense, right? How many false starts do we have to go through? How many holdings? How many illegal motions? Whatever the case may be, that is who the Jaguars are right now, week in and week out. And once again, to me, this comes down to coaching because you run this stuff in practice. If guys are getting away with it in practice and not being held accountable, then they're getting away with it in games and then all of a sudden they get a penalty. Because there's no way that they're going through with these false starts, with these illegal motions, and they're 100% perfect in practice. And it just does not work like that. You can't practice perfect, come out to a game, and be the most penalized team on offense. It does not work like that. So that's where the accountability has to come from coaching as well, right? Because it's the same mistakes over and over again. And you can't chalk it up to, these guys are young out there. You have you have an offensive line who's played together now for the most part, set aside from injuries, for how long? You have an offense in general that's played together for how long?
Yeah, years.
And you're making these kind of penalties. You're stalling these drives. That has to come from coaching. And once again, we're talking about a head coach who is on the offensive side of the ball, who needs to be responsible for that. So that's another frustrating point from me, and it kind of all falls in the same category of, being on the same page, communication, identity, penalties. This all is stemming from the offensive side of the ball. Now, we saw a lot on the defensive side of the ball as well. But the consistent thing right now on this team, week in and week out, where it's not good, is the fact that you get penalties on offense and you have drive killers on offense.
Yeah, and in big spots, they stink on offense. And that is a thing for Darrell Bevel. That's his identity as a caller. Mm-hmm. I mean, it goes back to the Seattle times. I try to ignore that. It's like one play, all this. No, but I know I've seen it up close. I mean, Darrell Bevel in big spots is not good. He's terrible in the red zone. Mm-hmm. Terrible. He's just, now again, you could say Agumbawale probably should have caught that. Maybe they should score.
Oh, he definitely should have caught it.
But if you go back and look at this year, in critical moments, Darrell Bevel has not been good. Are they getting better at third down conversions? A little bit. I think they were a lot better yesterday and 5 for 11 the week prior. So a little bit better in that category where they've been awful. They're not turning the football over as much as they were. But they still are not highlighting their best player enough, and they haven't all season. Health or no health. Again, he wouldn't be playing to this extent if he wasn't able to go. All right? There was nothing to do with injury yesterday, in my opinion. And Carlos Hyde, I don't care what you say, there's no more juice in the legs of Carlos Hyde than there is in James Robinson. Mm-hmm. And that's at 70-80% James Robinson. It's just not the case. I've watched it all year. You can't convince me of that. There is no juice. Yeah. Carlos Hyde, he's fine, by the way. I feel like we're hammering Carlos Hyde. It's not his fault they're putting him in the game, but he's just an okay guy. He's a suitable backup guy. He should not play 6 snaps less than James Robinson. He should play 16 or 26 snaps less than James Robinson.
The only thing I worry about now is history repeating itself. And that's losing guys that you get in the draft, special guys, or undrafted free agents, and you lose them because they're fed up with how things are being ran here in Jacksonville. I'm not saying James Robinson is to that point yet, but how could you steadily not be getting to that point? Because if I was James Robinson, I would be upset. I would be very frustrated. I saw him, walking down the sidelines when they couldn't put it in. Yeah, he was ticked off as he should have been. Yeah. This is the last thing you want to see right now because you have a guy in James Robinson who you lucked out on. Whether if you're Dave Caldwell and you saw the diamond in the rough, which I really don't think you did because he was an undrafted free agent, so you didn't draft him. So don't say, well, we knew this kid was going to be special, just a small school guy.
Got lucky.
You got lucky with James Robinson. Who cares? You got lucky, and you know what? He's on your team now, so be it. But what a good guy to have that you're lucky with. A guy who's seriously zero problems with what I've gathered so far. An undrafted free agent from Illinois State who's just a blue-collar worker. Not about the ego, not a distraction-based kind of guy. All he does is go out there and run the football. That's what you want. You essentially sacrifice Leonard Fournette for him, and so be it. I know Leonard Fournette's having 4 touchdowns a game now, but I'm not mad at James Robinson. I have not been mad at the production of James Robinson so far in his career. The last thing you want to see is him get frustrated, and then we've seen this story so many times where it's like, well, why don't I be here anymore? I'm not even being respected. I can go play anywhere else, make a little more money, and go have success. I don't want to see that from James Robinson because that is one guy that you don't want to lose.
Yeah, I agree with you. You don't want to lose him. By the way, I think he should be frustrated. I think Trevor Lawrence is frustrated, because you're talking about the offense. You talk about penalties. You've always said penalties are coaching. There's got to be some discipline and IQ that go into it. I'm big on this IQ stuff all of a sudden. I'm watching the Patriots play. They never beat themselves. They haven't for 20 years. They're not as talented as some teams in the league, yet they play well. And I know they coach well. And so they're a great example of, hey, IQ and coaching and all those little things matter. The Jags don't have those little things. Sometimes experience matters too. New England has more experience in a lot of places than maybe the Jags do in some places. So, and again, this isn't like this whole comparison with the Jags and New England, but what New England's doing right now is pretty impressive with a rookie quarterback and some of the moves that they made. And again, they're not like this talent-rich team. They really aren't. But they're smoking people right now in the NFL. And I guarantee you they're not beating themselves. So you talk coaching penalties. You talk beating yourself kind of penalties. I mean, we highlighted this last night at Action Sports Jax Primetime. There are 4 plays that cost them 14 points off the scoreboard, like legitimate 14 points. I know everybody leaves plays out there in the NFL, but I guarantee you the Atlanta Falcons did not leave 14 points on the board yesterday. They didn't. And the Jags did, from the field goal leverage play to the drop to Goonbawale pass to the interception from Trevor on what looked to be a free play, but it wasn't. And then late in the half when Tyson Campbell intercepts and you can't even move the ball 15 yards. And I'm not even bringing up the late game situation where you can only move it 11 yards. So the Jags are leaving opportunities out there, and that's what bad teams do. That's why they've only scored a season high of 23 points, the only team to do that. Everybody else has scored more than that in the NFL this year. And games all over the place yesterday were in the 30s, and heck, I thought we were going to get to the 40s in some. Yeah. And the Jags can't get out of the teens in the scoring. But from a coaching standpoint, personnel is a big thing with Bevel, I believe. Like that's part of his job, put the personnel in there, especially if Urban is going to give you free reign. From a coaching standpoint, they acknowledged yesterday that this offense is still evolving, and Urban said, we thought we'd be here by now. It shouldn't take this long, but we're not where we want it to be. I mean, we're in December, guys. We're in December, and this offense is not necessarily like installed the way your rookie quarterback is supposed to run it. How are we allowing that guy to blossom and grow when the offense isn't really even there yet? That's the way it's supposed to look.
All I had to hear about a month ago was the fact that we're still working how to do a quarterback sneak. But seriously, that's all I had to hear to know, okay, this is going to be a very long and drawn-out process. This isn't going to be a miracle overnight. There isn't going to be a lot of progress being made this season. When I heard that with the quarterback sneak, I'm like, oh, okay, so we're just going to pretty much waste Trevor Lawrence's rookie year and then go from there. Because that's essentially what you're doing right now.
More coaching. Jawan Taylor is not getting consistently better. Penalty machine continues to be a big problem on the offensive line in critical moments. And then Laviska Shenault, to me, is mind-boggling right now. I mean, he's really – the regression of Laviska Shenault, again, has to go to some coaching. Like you said, the depth of that play or other routes being run. I think it's some on the player, but that's got to be coaching as well.
Yeah, I mean, we keep going back to that one play where he supposedly broke it off a little too long. I don't know the exact play call. Maybe Urban Meyer said it. To me, it looked like a wide receiver option. And, that's what he went with. So it was up to him to decide where you want to break the route off, and there's this miscommunication there. Why you had 3 guys all on the same plane, though, all on the same level, set up in trips is beyond me. I mean, that to me right there is a big red flag in terms of, run a crossing route, run something. Don't have 3 guys on the exact same route at different levels. Yeah. That doesn't do anything.
My only problem with Laviska is between the drops and the fumbles, and this is not the first time we've questioned whether he's running the right route. He does it. I think he did it early in the game. Yeah. And there were multiple guys early in the game in the same vicinity again.
I think they're giving him free reign in terms of wide receiver options of what pattern to run. And they shouldn't be doing that because obviously he's not ready for that. But this goes back to coaching, putting way too much on his plate.
All right. What really bothers you the most about the Jags being 2-9 right now? Let's talk more about it. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Plus a lot of college football to talk about today, too. It's all on a Monday here on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Happy Monday, everyone. Today will be pleasant with sunny skies across the area with cool temperatures this afternoon only topping out in the mid-60s. I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pedjick, and that's your Action News Jax First Alert Forecast.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where now you can save up to 41% off during Beard's anniversary sale. Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-343-8638. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-343-8638. 800-343-8638. 800-343-8638.
Hey, Bruiser, you ready to do the old holiday shopping routine?
Yeah, I got all the houses picked out.
Alrighty.
Hey, you know, I almost feel sorry for these folks.
Oh, don't go soft on me now. That's why they pay insurance.
Okay, so you promise those kids will just lose their bikes for a little while?
Yeah, I promise. Whatever.
All right, then let's sing our favorite holiday song.
Yeah. We're making our list, checking it twice.
Looking for houses with things that are nice. Bruiser and Browser are coming to town. We're filling our truck, we won't leave much.
Avoiding those houses at God's safe touch.
Bruiser and Browser are coming to town.
Crime does increase during the holidays. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, owner of Safe Touch Security Systems. Our new Safe Touch two-way communicator saves lives and prevents property loss every day. Our average response time is an incredible 14 seconds. Nobody can match our servers or our price. You have my guarantee on it.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Though no longer little, teens still need a lot of love. Yet teens in foster care have a harder time finding it, as 82% of foster families are home to kids 12 or younger. You can positively impact a teen's life as a foster parent with help from Family Support Services of North Florida. You provide patience, love, and understanding, and Family Support Services will offer specialized training, resources, and a community of support. Take the next step at foster-now.org. That's foster-now.org.
My name is Sanjay Patani, and I'm an emergency medicine physician. It's the after effects of getting COVID that the young population should be concerned about. There's chronic fatigue syndrome, blood clotting disorders, heart problems. There are long chronic lung problems. The essence of this vaccine is not to prevent you from getting coronavirus. It is from preventing you from getting seriously ill and potentially dying.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Hospital Association, the Florida Medical Association, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Got a business trip, long weekend, or maybe you just really want to try that new Toyota before you buy it? Then get it all when you rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. With easy online reservations and rental rates as low as $19.95 a day, there's nothing stopping you from hitting the open road in a new 2021 Toyota. So rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Try it before you buy it and reserve your rental online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
You're invited to shop at the White Harvest Farms and Farmers Market every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a market of fresh and affordable farm-to-table produce that comes from a 10.5-acre urban located at 4850 Moncrief Road. There's volunteering, classes, and farming demonstrations. Also, if you're interested in becoming a vendor or volunteer, call 904-354-4162 or visit the White Harvest Farms Eventbrite page. White Harvest Farms wants to be your favorite produce market. This initiative benefits the Clara White mission.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
We try to rotate card. Just ask that question. like 5 minutes ago to get clarity if I got asked. Rotation, and then he's still not 100%. You can see that on perimeter runs, and we felt like Carlos had a little more juice in his legs, and so.
It wasn't necessarily the fumble that kept him
Yeah,
out?
a little bit, I'm sure Bernie talked to him, and so did Bev and all those guys on the sideline. I did briefly, but the answer I got was rotation, and Carlos felt he should be in the game.
Give me a wall so I can bang my head into it a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it hurts me to see you like this, Brent. You know, Mr. Positivity, Mr. Sunshine and Rainbows.
I just told you
coming
guys.
to the dark side. I mean, me and Casey been chilling in this pool for a while. You know what I'm saying? It's nice and
I've been
dark.
chilling in this freaking pool for 14
years.
years.
We got candles going on here, man. It's good to have you. Water feels nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Welcome to the dark side.
I mean, I just told you guys. I was gone for a few days. I was actually looking forward to the game. It was weird. You get late in the season. We're not there yet. But I even tweeted this at one time during the game. It felt like a week 17, 18 game.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're like, all right, get me to the offseason.
Feels like Shock Your Mock season already.
Yeah, I mean, it really did. It felt like that. The crowd was, it wasn't a big crowd. I mean, God bless the Jags fans that showed up. But, I mean, Atlanta wasn't bringing a lot of people.
Yeah.
You knew that. It was a holiday weekend. Jags had not given them any reason to come. And so there wasn't like a buzz in the building at all. Like you can really feel that when you walk in there, and there wasn't. I mean, for good reason, but there wasn't.
Yeah.
And then they get off to just this awful start again. Actually, it was kind of a slower bleed to the bad start. Like it wasn't terrible, and then it got terrible.
Yeah.
From the offsides penalty on the punt, which didn't even really cost them points, but it cost them field position, to the free play throw, to the leverage play that led, and then right after that, Cordero Patterson. I mean, the Jags have been beat up by running backs the last couple of weeks that are wide receivers.
Yeah.
And listen, those guys are good players. Deebo Samuel's playing really well. Cordero Patterson's playing really well. This team was built to stop the run, and they can't stop receivers running the football right now.
No, I mean, to be fair, Cordero Patterson is not a bad running back.
No,
he's kind of cemented himself. I mean, the way that he runs, too, like zero patience.
No.
Like he's like the anti-Bell.
No. And kind of like tall through there, right? It's not like he tries to get low.
Dude, hey, he gets the job done. I will say this about the defense, and yeah, there's unacceptable in a lot of standpoints. You had an offensive line for the Atlanta Falcons kind of manhandle you for the first half.
They did.
But at least adjustments were made.
Yes.
Right? Like, I pictured Joe calling at halftime, literally breaking every single table to get his hands on and threatening to cancel Christmas. Just as long as they stop, unless they stop the run with Cordell Patterson. And you know what? They did better. Like, there was halftime adjustments. They made some improvements. And I get it. Personnel-wise, not the best team in the NFL. Not the best roster in the NFL. But at least I see a defense who, at halftime comes out and they play with some fire. They play with a little swag. Now, it didn't win them the ball game, obviously, but it was improvement. I see an offense that looks like they're just begging for garbage time. And that, I mean, we want to talk about the list of frustrations because it's a laundry list right now. But again, you go to halftime, where are their adjustments? Where are the things that's like, okay, our game plan didn't really work the way we thought it was going to work. Let's switch this up. Let's switch that up. And now we got them where we want them. I didn't see a lot of that yesterday. I haven't seen a lot of that over the last, 6 weeks, 7 weeks from this offense.
Yeah, screw deferring them. It's great you win the coin toss, but who cares? You go 3 and out coming out of the locker room every time. Well, It wasn't 3 and out, actually. I think they got a first down. But I will say that the defense, to your point, I can't kill the defense. They weren't great.
No.
But they still only gave up like 14 points. And they let them, listen, touchdown they gave up was one because of the fumble, point-blank range, really. It was on the 30-yard line. And then a leverage play. They should have given up a field goal. I mean, they gave the team a chance to win again. They should start faster, but they got an interception. They got a big stop on Tyson Campbell's getting. Like, I can point to things that are good. And by the way, we knew they would come out with quick game. They'd get pushed off the ball in the run game. But you knew Matt Ryan would come out with the quick game because they got hammered on the offensive front in the pass game last week against New England.
Oh, yeah.
So it really neutralized Josh Allen and company in the pass rushing game. I mean, Josh really couldn't do much. They were getting everything out so quick. So I'm not going to sit here today and kill the defense. They weren't great. The numbers probably show better than they actually played.
Tyson Campbell made some money for himself, I feel like, where you see improvement there.
There's some growth. Give me a guy that's growing on offense.
Matthew Wright.
He's on special teams. Give me a guy that's growing on offense. No, right?
Yeah, I mean,
we can point to Taven Bryan. We can point to Tyson Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
We can point to, like, the interior, Malcolm Brown and Devon Hamilton, what they've done. Now, again, I'm not talking every snap, but over the last month, I can point to those things about guys that are getting better, it looks like.
So I'll say this. Right now, where it stands with this team, going into next year, I don't think cornerback is going to be a position of need.
Yeah, I would say that's true.
Okay, because I mean, like,
if you're picking three and Stingley's there, I don't think you need to go get that.
I think you have Shaq Griffin, and I think if Tyson Campbell can keep on doing his thing, I'm okay with that. I think interior defensive line could be because, there's some studs this year in the interior defensive line, so that might still be a question. But at least, like, it's funny because when I left the game, I forgot this dude's name, but he's a coach. He's like assistant coach in Jacksonville. I forgot where he coached at. He told me his name. I think it was like Dan or something. He goes, "Hey, Austin, you watched this game?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Sit up in the press box. What's something that I can take away from this game I can be happy about?" Now, when he asked me that in the moment, spur of the moment, I was like, the French toast sticks went extra hard today in the press box. They were good. Oh, Casey, I'm sorry to bring it up, but the French toast sticks were good.
Brent's out of his mind. You can take away that.
Brent's out of his mind as well.
And you can laugh at him.
But looking back on it and on reflection, I guess Tyson Campbell, you can say, had a great game. I mean, I would say, he had an okay game.
But he made some. Listen, he almost had another pick six. He had an interception. He made the big play to get the ball back at the end. I mean, listen, that's making plays, right?
Yep.
That's making plays. All right, here we go. Ready?
So thank you, Tyson Campbell.
Thank you. Top three. I thought about this. There's so much that bothers us all right now. The three things that bother you the most right now. We just did a whole start of the show.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, go back and listen if you missed it. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 podcast. You can subscribe about James Robinson. I mean, right now it is the number one thing. There are a few things that have bothered me this much in 14 years covering the Jags than what's going on with James Robinson this season and again on yesterday.
Yes.
I would say the other thing that bothers me is Urban Meyer is here he's an offensive guy and a special teams guy, and those areas are disastrous right now. Like a disaster on offense and on special teams. And he's got to get his hands in there because guess what? We're blaming you, Urban.
Yeah.
I'd get my hands in there because we're blaming you.
Yep.
And you might not care if we're blaming you, but we're blaming you, and those are your areas. And your areas suck right now. So that bothers me.
As it should.
And then the other one that bothers me is that Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer, I thought, and I'm just wrong on this, Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer have won a lot. Mm-hmm. I genuinely thought that those two being here, it's not in their DNA to lose like big. Mm-hmm. Now, I did not think they were going to win big in the first year. I wasn't even sure they would win big in the NFL. But I really thought 2-15, 3-14 kind of seasons might be over even in year one. And I think I'm wrong. I don't know if they're going to win again. They might sneak one out, but I don't know if they're going to win again.
Jets playing tough right now, too. I mean, the Jets game.
I've been wrong about a lot of things. Well, this one I was really dead wrong on because I did not see a Trevor Lawrence, Urban Meyer team, whether you were playing kickball or you were playing football, be 2-15. And they might be freaking 2-15. I thought they were going to get that crap out of the building. Like, I thought that was part of this. And we might not see any progress in that. And so those are the three things that really bother me. My list is long, but I had to narrow it to three.
Yeah, I mean, I got a long list as well. We talked about a lot of them, but let me go ahead and add to my list because we haven't really talked about this yet. We kind of sprinkled on it a little bit, but let's really dive into this thing head on here. I think right now what separates a team like, well, the Patriots, I mean, there's a lot of things that separate the Patriots from the Jaguars. But you look at the Patriots right now, coming off of a disappointing season, you have a rookie quarterback. Why are they having so much success? Well, obviously, it's Bill Belichick. It's the culture. It's the regime, all this stuff. But it's also the draft picks, and it's the guys that you got in free agency. Guys like Kendrick Bourne, who don't even know where the guy came from. But he's having pretty good success right now with the Patriots. Came from San Fran, by the way. Guys like Matthew Judon, who right now is in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Guys like that Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith's been hurt a little bit, but Hunter Henry having a big impact as well. But you look at those guys, and then you look at the guys they drafted the past couple years, that's where you make your money. This is where you build a foundation and you get better. And you facilitate a young culture with a young quarterback and can have success. I look at this draft class this past year. Haven't really seen Cisco yet, right? We've seen him sprinkle sparingly every once in a while. Saw Winger get highlighted yesterday. Saw him get hurdled 25 times on CBS. The announcer's having a field day with that one.
And run over.
In 4K. In 4K, by the way. So I saw that. We haven't seen Cisco. Travis Etienne, injury bug, that happens. Can't fault them for that. Walker Little, this offensive line right now, not playing the best, right? I don't know if you want to say Cam Robinson.
Cam's played pretty well.
Okay, but Walker Little, we haven't really heard much about him. We heard about him in training camp, not so much. I think Kayvon Chason, obviously going into his second year now, where has he really been? He showed a spark here or there, but as a dependable first-round pick, where's that been?
A spark. Give me the spark.
Okay. Marvin
Bryant's doing more than Chason.
Sure. Marvin Jones, I thought was going to be, the go-to guy. I think we all agreed in fantasy purposes, it's going to be the Marvin Jones show.
Hell of a catch, Marvin.
Hell of a catch, but in the grand scheme of things, how much influence has he had in this offense?
No.
Okay. Shaq Griffin, I think, has done a pretty good job.
Yes.
All things considered. Rashawn Jenkins, we don't have to go down that road again because I know.
Please don't.
Yeah, because we're still on the dark side of the pool now. We don't get any darker here. But my point is,
be nice if he made a play.
Is that when we talk about draft picks and we talk about free agents, Roy Robertson Harris, yes, he had the sack yesterday. Also had the what do they call the penalty? The leverage penalty.
Yeah. He's actually come on in the last few weeks since
Malcolm
he's been
Brown, Jihad Ward. I haven't really heard a lot about.
Jihad hasn't done much.
Guy can ride a motorcycle, you wouldn't believe, though, or an ATV.
Good on Jags Report Live when he comes on TV, too.
Yeah, he's got a great personality. So all those things considered, though, because when we started this season, I wasn't saying, I'm really worried about this personnel here. I'm really worried about all these free agents that they brought in. Are they going to contribute or not? I was not having the conversation. I thought, all right, Marvin Jones, that's a great pickup. Roy Robertson Harris, fantastic. Shaq Griffin, all right. Rashawn Jenkins, all right, he's got that dog in him. So be it. Okay, cool. The conversation through the draft and through free agency wasn't, well, these guys aren't going to be able to contribute to this team. That wasn't the conversation at all. But now we're here, end of November, getting ready to enter December, the last leg of the season, if you will. And that's exactly what we're talking about right now. And you can't win like that. You can't build a culture like that. So my frustration, whether it's Balky, whether it's Urban Meyer making these calls, a combination of both, whatever the case may be, the guys that they approach that they got, they're not contributing, whether it's in the draft or free agency. They're not contributing enough, I want to say, outside of Shaq Griffin. And maybe the sprinkle of Marvin Jones every once in a while, when he gets the opportunity.
Well, there's a guy. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, and then last week was a bad showing for them, and this week hasn't been that great either. But, I mean, guys like Jamal Agnew and Rudy Ford have highlighted their, free agent class and Shaq Griffin. Now you start saying, free agency is kind of like a 50-50 proposition. You start hitting on four guys in free agency, and that they're making plays for you. But I think to the point is there's been no consistency there. And have they been big enough plays? Even Shaq Griffin's been very good, but he hasn't had a pick. And he's had 4 chances to change a game with a pick, And so he's been good, but he hasn't been great. Jamal Agnew was really the best, and now he's on the shelf.
Yeah.
Rudy Ford has done way more than anybody imagined, but it's not like he's changing games, right? So I agree. I mean, their draft class is really not doing much. And to be honest with you, their rookie quarterback probably isn't doing much. Now, is that a product of everything else, or is that him? Probably some of both. But
it has to be both.
But we certainly thought Trevor Lawrence by this time, as we enter December, would have done a little bit more at the very least than what he's done. Mm-hmm. And now given 2 out of the last 3 chances in games to do something heroic late, fumble the football and move the team 11 yards. That's not good enough.
No.
I mean, that is not good enough. And Trevor was, I kind of said he was bad. I did say he was bad yesterday. That's what I felt kind of right away. And probably wasn't bad. That's probably an overreaction. But he was certainly inaccurate. And, I mean, even the pick that he throws, I wish he said he thought it was a free play and that the ref screwed up.
Yeah.
He didn't, though. He said he thought his receiver was going to get separation. Well, golly, man. I mean, when's the last time that's happened? I'm not sure you should plan on that.
Yeah.
But that was they were at the 35-yard line. That was a 2nd and 7 play. I mean, that cost points. You can't make that mistake. That was just free up for grabs play. That is, You can't make that mistake with this team.
The double cover, it just wasn't good.
And by the way, he hadn't thrown a pick in like 137 passes or something. So he'd been taking care of the football pretty well overall. But Trevor's okay to make mistakes and be inaccurate. He's just not doing enough on the other side to overcome some of that. Well, and it's not even the wow throws that much anymore. I mean, it was a good throw to Austin in the end zone. But the throw to Treadwell where he wanted, on third down yesterday in the last drive, he wanted interference. I didn't see interference, guys. I mean, I'm not sure if I missed it, but I just saw a wild high behind Treadwell throw.
I'm to the point, though, and okay, so you had a touchdown pass yesterday. Great. Great to see.
That's kind of what
Fantastic.
quarterbacks do.
That's what you got to do. And, everybody wants to compare. Well, you look at Peyton Manning, what Peyton Manning did his rookie year. Goes 3-13, through 28 interceptions. The difference with that, though, is that Peyton Manning also threw 26 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Okay? I get it. You're not playing for the playoffs right now. That's just a pipe dream, never going to happen. Fine. But this season was supposed to be about the progress of Trevor Lawrence, and we're not seeing it right now. So I would rather see a guy go out there, let it loose, make mistakes. Not saying he's got to throw the ball 50 times a game. Not saying that at all. But I'd rather see a guy go out there, let it loose, make some mistakes if you have to, but make some big plays as well. Yeah. Because right now it's like he's tapered off, and it's like I don't want to make the big play. I don't want to make this mistake. And like he's in his own head, it seems like a little bit sometimes. And then those when he's in your own head, they're just overthrows. They're not even close to the receiver.
Yeah, I agree with you. At this point, I'd almost rather him look like the first few games where he was making mistakes, but also making wild
just
throws
let it rip.
That we could be like, whoa.
I would kill for a 26-28 performance, 26 touchdowns, 28 interceptions. Because at least those 26 touchdowns, we would see some big throws. Yeah. We would be like, oh, okay. Yeah, this makes sense.
The Jags are this is a Blaine Gabbert offense. You played with this offense. This is a 2011 offense. The Jags are 70. They need 70 points to eclipse that team's offense, which is like the worst offense in franchise history. Yeah. The Jags flirted with the worst 5-game stretch in franchise history points-wise yesterday until they finally scored late again. I mean, it's bad. This offense is bad. It's got Trevor's name on it, Darrell Bevel's name on it, Urban Meyer's name on it. It's bad. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Hey, sports fans, are you ready to get in on a piece of the action? The only thing better than your football team winning is when you have some skin in the game.
This is Ultimate Vegas insider John Anthony, and if you're looking to cash in on tonight's big game, Seattle, Washington, I've got you covered. Documented 73% against the spread.
Call 1-800-244-5506 for my absolutely free side and total on the recorded message line. That's 1-800-244-5506. What are you waiting for? Get off the sideline. Call 1-800-244-5506 now.
Seattle, Washington, side and total, free on the recorded message line.
Every touchdown and victory dance just got that much sweeter. But before you get in on the action, call 1-800-244-5506 or go to VegasScoresAndOdds.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Owen. I'm a cigarette.
Do you like being a cigarette?
No, I don't. Not really into killing thousands of people. Sorry, no filter.
Right.
What's your sign?
Pisces?
I'm a Cancer. Cigarette joke. But seriously, I do cause cancer. And heart disease. And strokes. I could go on forever. Unlike the people who smoke me.
The average smoker lives 10 years less than non-smokers. Quit today. Find out how at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Mortno. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, location. Get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts. Jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax.
Hey, boss, did you notice the holiday decorations on your street?
Oh, yeah, it's getting to be that time of year again.
Yeah, makes me so happy I want to sing.
Uh-oh, I smell a song coming on.
It's beginning to look a lot like Crooksmas.
Nice. Packages near every door.
But the prettiest sight to me...
no safe touch signs, you see.
Do-it-yourself alarms we like much more.
A pair of houses in a row.
Do they have safe touch?
No.
So crooks like us use Crash and Smash
to get inside and take the cash.
It's beginning to look a lot like Crooksmas.
DIY alarms we love for sure.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Only Wendy's serves a better breakfast with a better biscuit. Our hot buttery breakfast biscuits are loaded with a fresh cracked egg, cheese, and your choice of bacon or sausage. And right now at Wendy's, they're only $1 each.
Wendy's breakfast biscuits, just $1.
So don't take a chance with those other guys. Bet your buck on a better breakfast with Wendy's bacon or sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price of participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo. Excludes honey butter chicken biscuit.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Offense, with the fluidity of receivers, we still have not identified any downfield passing game. However, in the run game, I think, we averaged, I thought we ran the ball really well. I thought the offensive line came off the ball. I thought we mixed in under center and shotgun runs, which is what I want to be. The shotgun runs were really productive, so that's a little bit of our identity. Pass game identity, we're still not there, but it's, how can you get there when you're the rotation of receivers that we have right now?
I don't want to hear the excuses. I've seen worse receivers here. Let me think about that statement. Yeah, I think I have. The biggest problem they have on their receiving core is the regression of Laviska Shenault. That is a major problem. This guy's supposed to take a step this year in this offense, and he's been not good. And by the way, he did make a big play. And I appreciate both Trevor and even Urban for not singling out and ripping players. And Urban has been transparent about players, but he didn't want to do it today. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Trevor, after the game, I knew it right away. I was like, he is covering for Laviska. Mm-hmm. And again, go back and watch, and this is me, man. I don't even know the X's and O's, and receivers are supposed to go to landmarks, and there's option routes and all this stuff, whatever. I don't watch the game like that, but I can guarantee you Laviska Shenault has run the wrong route 5 times this year at least, and it really feels like all in the last month. And so if you're a young quarterback and your receiver is not running the right routes and he's been in the league for a couple years, what is going on? What can you trust? Again, that doesn't mean Trevor's playing great and, he's got – no, Trevor's got some blame in this, but I don't get it. What I want to say is, though, the crossing route on 3rd and 21, I understand that's there and they get it and it's a heck of a play. And that will show you how bad Atlanta is, too. They gave up a 3rd and 21. Yes. But why don't they ever go back to the play? Mm-hmm. Why don't they ever go back to that play? I'm watching the Rams yesterday, and the Rams aren't playing good football, but they're run just a simple route. It's in the zone defense for Green Bay. They run just like a curl route, man, sitting in the zone. It's so easy, pitch and catch. Are we making the game more difficult in Jacksonville? because some of this stuff looks really easy around the rest of the league, and that's even with some teams that are struggling a bit.
I think it comes down to, once again, is that you are not setting your players up for success. If Laviska did run the wrong route on that play, yeah, I mean, it looked like he did, but I'm convinced like that was an option. Like it was up to him to decide where to break off that route. And if that's the case, that's what we're talking about, well, then maybe you shouldn't give him the keys to the kingdom like that. Maybe you should tell him, hey, break the route off at the first down marker, right? Don't just go by feel and try to run yourself open. Just break the route off at the first down marker, and I'll take care of it. Maybe those conversations need to be had if this it truly is indeed a wide receiver option route, which it very well could be. I just think it's a situation right now where if you're Bevel, if you're Urban Meyer, you look what you got. Okay, Marvin Jones, Laviska Shenault, Austin now stepping up a little bit. Yeah, it's probably not the sexiest group of wide receivers anymore in the NFL, but that's fine. I can watch any other. I watched the Falcons yesterday, who I couldn't name one of. Russell Gage. Not sure who the other guys are.
Kyle Pitts did nothing yesterday.
Yeah. But, like, they find ways to get these guys open.
Absolutely.
They use their speed, their agility, whatever the case may be. They find out what they're good at, and they get these guys open. They run them open. For whatever reason, the Jaguars cannot do that.
No.
And that's an issue.
That is an issue. We've got a lot of issues to solve. Tiger Woods talks. What's he say about coming back? The rest of the NFL, the college game's out of control. Big money in Major League Baseball. Oh, baby, what a day on a Monday. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 rolls on at 4. If you're like me, you come home from work and walk through a messy garage hurdling shoes and bats and bikes. Well, get the easy garage solution that I got. It's called Easy Garage Solutions. One-of-a-kind monkey bar technology that will last a lifetime. Hang the bikes and the lawn equipment. Easy Garage Solutions. Shelving and overhead storage for boxes and bins. Easy Garage Solutions. Cabinets and flooring available too. Easy Garage Solutions. Find them at easygaragesolutions.com. Easy Garage Solutions. It's that easy.
Sick of big banks drawing money out of Jacksonville? Want your money to stay here and help local folks? At 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, all of our capital is invested back into Northeast Florida. This includes our all-new hometown credit card. You get all the rewards and perks of a big bank, and every swipe invests back in Jax. Get 2 points for every $1, up to 50,000 bonus points, 24/7 fraud protection, pay with points, and tons more. Support your community with a hometown credit card from 1-to-1 Financial. Apply at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA, a proud Visa partner.
The Florida Forum Speaker Series, brought to you by the Women's Board of Wolfson Children's Hospital, is underway. Don't miss Major General Charles F. Bolden Jr., a retired Marine officer, astronaut, and former NASA administrator, on November 17th, and four-time Super Bowl champion and broadcaster Terry Bradshaw on January 20th, 2022. The series takes place at the Times Union Center for the Performing Arts. Get your tickets today at thefloridaforum.com. The Florida Forum has contributed more than $9.2 million to Wolfson Children's Hospital of Jacksonville.
After a long day, having my dogs greet me at the door with their silly smiles and wagging tails makes me happy. I want to keep that joy with me for years to come. That's why I trust Forever Vets Animal Hospital to keep my pets healthy. Forever Vets was voted 2019's Best Vet in Jacksonville Magazine's Readers Poll, and it's easy to see why. The affordable wellness plans are tailored to meet all of your pet's changing needs as they grow. Open 7 days a week, Forever Vets friendly staff is available to treat you and your pet with care. They combine extended hours with online booking to allow you to give your pet quality care while accommodating your schedule. Go online to forevervets.com to find which of their 9 locations is nearest you. And don't forget their newest location in Bartram Market. Forever Vets Animal Hospital, keeping your pets happy and healthy forever.
As you count your blessings this season, consider helping local kids and families in crisis through Daniel, Florida's oldest child service agency. Daniel offers counseling to abused children, connects kids with foster homes, and provides homeless teens with shelter. You can affect positive change, too, by donating to Daniel. Thanks to the Jesse Ball DuPont Fund, online donations made before December 31st will be doubled. Please donate today at danielkids.org.
5G is here, But the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So your wipers are streaking. It might be time for a new set. We've got a great deal to help you get the job done and be ready for the weather ahead. Right now, you can get a $15 AutoZone gift card by mail or email when you buy 2 Bosch Envision wiper blades. And we've got even more ways to shop. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
There's baseball this afternoon, and it's on top of the Max Scherzer deal to the Mets. AL Cy Young Award winner Robbie Ray and the Mariners are finalizing a 5-year, $115 million contract, according to ESPN's Jeff Passan. There'll be an opt-out after year 3. As for Scherzer and the Mets, he gets 3 years, $130 million, $43 million per, with an opt-out after year 2. Christian McCaffrey's season is done. Placed back on IR today by the Panthers with an ankle injury. Steelers put T.J. Watt in the COVID-19 list. Speaking of which, Mike McCarthy pops positive, not going to coach Thursday night for the Cowboys when they visit the Saints. History is going to be made Saturday at the SEC Championship game for the first time since October 3rd, 2015. Alabama is going to be an underdog this week. 6.5-point dogs against the Georgia Bulldogs, according to Caesars Sportsbook. This ends a record run of 92 straight weeks as favorites. College basketball, brand new number 1. It's the Duke Blue Devils. They get 51 out of 61 first-place votes. It's number 2, Purdue. Number 3, Gonzaga. Number 4 is Baylor.
Step up your creativity now during Dell's Cyber Monday event with savings up to $300 off, including deals on the latest PCs with Intel Core processors, shop laptops, monitors, and more. Plus, free shipping. Call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Lincoln, are you shocked that you've gotten this far without anybody asking you about all the rumors this week? I'm just saying I'm gonna ask you about it, so I might as well. I mean, it's nonstop. I mean, it's every day.
Hold up, Gary. I'm not going to be the next head coach at LSU.
Can I ask you?
Next question.
He's not a liar.
Well, not going to LSU.
But why didn't somebody ask the question? How about USC?
Not going to LSU.
That's like,
kidding me?
Hey, media brethren, we failed.
Yeah.
You forgot to ask the follow-up question.
Yeah,
Maybe it was asked.
It's kind of like the whole Aaron Rodgers thing when he got, he wasn't vaccinated.
That's
but,
right. It was.
Yeah. What was the verbiage? I can't remember.
Yeah, he
had been immunized or whatever.
Yeah. And Aaron, does that mean that you've been vaccinated? Well, no. That's all you had to do.
I'm not going to LSU, but give me another 3-letter school.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick here, at least for a little bit.
Spencer Rattler on the market now as well.
Yeah, everybody. By the way, even Trayon Webb, who's a Trinity Christian kid, he too was leaving Oklahoma. He's decommitted from Oklahoma, so not leaving it. He never got there, but and they're losing some big time recruits. Billy Napier, we'll get to Riley in a moment, but Billy Napier obviously gets hired. Thank goodness for the Gators. They fire a coach on Sunday during the Jags game, at least give us some entertainment. They hire a coach on Sunday, give us some entertainment. Next week, I'll be at L.A., but if the game gets out of hand, at least you can tune over to the introductory press conference for Billy Napier.
Now we're talking.
So let's just make Gator news or some other news every Sunday, just at least for an alternative option.
I like that. Yeah. It's kind of like, so some people like the Monday football game, some people like Eli and Peyton. Right. To each their own.
Give it to us.
Yeah, I like that.
Do you like the Napier? You're not a big fan of the Napier hire. You're a Gator fan, Casey.
Yeah, I'm not a Gator fan anymore. I was.
Oh, no.
So we're good.
Because of the Napier hire?
Yeah.
I mean, how can you hate it that much?
It's just ridiculous
He's
at
got
this
good
point.
pedigree. Like, who'd you want?
I don't know, a dude that doesn't have an 85 recruiting class when the guy you're firing had a 46th recruiting class. And go ahead, please tell me how he recruited at Alabama. I'm sure he's the reason all those big players came to Alabama.
Well, I think
sure it had nothing to do with Nick Saban or the championships.
I'm just saying one's Florida and one's Louisiana. Florida should never be 46th or whatever. Louisiana should be 85th.
Yeah, but I read off a whole list of names that were Toledo's recruiting better than him, Central Michigan. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I understand that, but he's also in the Sun Belt Championship. Does that help?
No. He's not. His team is now. But yeah. I'm good.
I think this guy's going to be good. He's got a good pedigree. A lot of people have wanted him. I think this will be good. I'm going to say the same thing, though, I said about Dan Mullen. And Mullen turned out to be probably more instantaneously better than I thought he'd be for the Gators. I still don't know if Napier's a guy that's going to win big for you. When you're at Florida, you want to win big. Mm-hmm. Now, we don't know that. It's really hard to tell, right? I mean, he's been at Louisiana. He's got a good record. He's won big there, 39-12, I think it is. He's 42. He's got the Dabo pedigree, the Nick Saban pedigree. I mean, he's been around big programs. He's a Southeast guy. He'll recruit. I mean, quarterback's going to be the key. Can he get them? The coordinators will be the key. Do they open up the checkbook? Sounds like they will. So all those things, and the facilities are better. He's playing in he's going into the toughest SEC that's ever existed soon.
Yeah.
Because you got Oklahoma and Texas going in as well.
Mm-hmm.
And other teams are getting better, and now they're a little bit more refreshed than they've been maybe in the last 5 to 8 years. From Kentucky's no longer a walkover to South Carolina all of a sudden winning some games, and that guy's doing a good job. And Tennessee thinks they're on something unless Hypo goes to Oklahoma.
Arkansas is doing Arkansas things. Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas.
They were a pleasant surprise this year, I thought, overall.
So it's a really tough thing now. And so you got, I'm leery. I'm just going to be honest with you, and I could be wrong on this, and everybody – I think the college football world changes. I don't think it's – the one thing about college football, folks, and again, I grew up in Rhode Island, so I'm not this like old school, college football guy, and this is the way it's always been done. And while there are trends of everything's always been done a certain way, I do think the games change, right? And things change. And I'm a little concerned for Gator fan about the Mullen firing and move. He had won pretty darn good for 3 years. And so if Scott Strickland's talking about sustainability, when you lose for like a month and a half, I'm not sure that's a big enough indication to me that you're no longer a good coach and the program's not going to be great. Now, there are plenty of indications that recruiting was never going to be top-notch, and also it wasn't feeling good in Gainesville. And that can do a lot to a college program. I understand that. I'm just telling you, I'm not all on board the firing of Mullen and moving on. I think it's a little bit of dangerous because I saw what happened the last time they did this stuff. McElwain and Muschamp didn't get it done. Mm-hmm. And so I'm a little concerned on that front. Napier's probably a very good option for them. And I love the dynamic. And remember now, I'm not a Gator. I'm not a Knoll. I'm not any of those. But I love the dynamic that he was in LSU's backyard and they don't go get him.
Yeah.
And Florida does. And so it'll be very interesting to watch that, kind of go up against each other for the next handful of years and see who was right on the Napier front. That's interesting in itself.
So it's crazy. One of my really good friends who I played football with in college is the deputy athletic director at Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
So he's like the assistant, pretty much.
Yeah, Raging Cajun, baby.
I've heard him talk about Coach Napier before and everything, like what he has to say about him, and what I gather every time he speaks about him is that this guy is super detail oriented.
I like
that. Like a CEO type of guy. That's what Florida needs, I think, more than anything. You have to be able to recruit. I mean, that's one of the biggest things in college football. We'll see how he does with recruiting, right? I mean, like you said, Casey, you recruit at Alabama, but the name, the prestige, the chance to go to the NFL, like those are all big contributions to go to Alabama. We'll see how he does in the recruiting aspect of it. But I think a guy that really essentially built Louisiana from nothing, ground up, and did it his way, the way that he learned under Nick Saban, I think you like that right now, if you're a Gator fan. I get it's not the sexiest name. It's not the name that makes you go, oh, we're going to the national championship anytime soon. But I think it's the name that you need right now more than anything.
Yeah, I think it's good. Listen, I like Scott Strickland a lot. There's a lot of pressure on this hire, too, because he didn't go out and have the whole search. He basically said, that's my guy, and I like him, and let's go get him. And so, listen, going to get the guy that you covet is always a big deal. Like, that's important. But when it opens your door for criticism down the road when you didn't really look elsewhere,
Sure,
you know?
sure.
So you got to be careful of that, and hopefully it's a home run hire. Listen, I think Napier will be good. I don't know if he'll be great, and I don't know if there's enough evidence. It's all blind faith to know if he'll be great, right? You could say that just about anybody in the coaching ranks, and we'll see if he is and going to win big in a very tough SEC. Meanwhile, the Lincoln Riley one, to me, it got me in my feelings a little bit. And again, I'm not an Oklahoma guy, USC guy, whatever. But this feels slimy to me. Yeah. This one didn't feel right.
I didn't see this happening at all.
He just signed a 6-year, $45 million deal last year. And this is my problem. Like, I understand there's no loyalty in sports. Contracts are meant to be broken. I mean, they committed to him almost, $8 million a year? And meanwhile, he goes into living rooms and everybody else says, hey, we're going to be here. And, we want your kid here in Oklahoma. We're going to win championships and Heisman trophies and all this stuff. It doesn't go that great this year. It's a little disconnected. USC comes in and it's like, all right, we're going to USC. I mean, I get it. It's part of the business, but it just doesn't feel right. This one feels weird. It was done in darkness almost. It happened overnight, which did it really happen overnight? I mean, I don't like the feel of this one. This, to me, doesn't make me warm and fuzzy about Lincoln Riley at all, and I'm rooting against him at USC, I think.
No, I mean, I'm extremely surprised that we've gotten to this point now with him going to USC. Have you been to Los Angeles, though? You ever been there? You've been to Los Angeles?
Going this weekend.
It's got to be nicer than Oklahoma, right?
He's going to say that. Absolutely. I'm surprised because it seemed like he had a great thing going in Oklahoma. I would have been less surprised if he went to the NFL. I thought
me too.
That was always on the table.
To me, that doesn't feel as weird.
Because
right?
his way to, this year's kind of an exception, but get the best out of his quarterback, right? To mold them into a professional quarterback. You didn't get that this year with Spencer Rattler. We'll see going forward, but to me, this screams, and I don't know Lincoln Riley personally. I really don't know the guy at all. I don't know his story. Just judging by how this whole thing shaped out, you're going to the SEC, right? Where it just means more. You're on the Paul Feinbaum show every day. There's a lot of pressure there. Is there anything more? And I don't want to knock the Pac-12 too much, but is there any better situation than go to the Pac-12 in terms of the road to the college football playoff? Let's be honest. Next year, theoretically, I mean, and what are they going to expand the playoff next year or not?
Not next year, but the following year.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you got Georgia, you got your Alabamas, there's A&M, make it whatever, but there's LSU,
Florida.
But there's always schools that you like out of the SEC.
Absolutely.
Oregon,
maybe.
Oregon,
Stanford.
This year, though? Yeah, Oregon.
No, the Pac-12's a cakewalk.
Yeah. So
if you build it,
if you do build it,
right?
So one could wonder. Did you get cold feet at the altar and be like, I don't want to, the SEC, that's going to be, week in, week out, that's a war.
Yeah.
And you got to show up. I don't want to maybe get exposed. I don't want to have losing seasons. I want to go to the West Coast, and I don't want to say coast through, seasons, but it's a lot easier of a schedule.
Yeah. But listen, I don't think he's running scared, but I do think he's making a business decision of, I got a better chance to win national titles and end up in that Final Four going here. Now, we're going to get to a playoff, which means Oklahoma, even in SEC, if they don't win it, could probably get to the playoff. But there's more friction. That's what you're getting at. And so I think he made this decision. Now, listen, everybody loves the USC job. And again, this is the old guard talking about USC.
Casey, have you been to LA? Have you been to LA before?
Going this weekend.
Listen, I understand the lure of USC.
Been to Oklahoma?
I understand the lure of Texas. Why can't anybody win at either place? Why can't they win if it's such a great job?
So I think Texas or I
hear about in college football, ever since I've been involved, again, New England guy, go to Ohio, Louisiana, so LSU, been down in the Southeast now since 2008, college football, man, USC. Mm-hmm. I get it. Yeah, I see the list of – I've been there. Yeah. I've been on campus. It's pretty impressive. It's awesome. I understand. It's L.A.
Yes.
Well, then why hasn't anybody won since Pete Carroll? In Texas, I get it. They got all this money. They want to win. They all this stuff. Well, why doesn't anybody win since Vince Young?
So I think Texas, it's two different things. Texas, I think, in terms of the recruiting battle, you got to deal with Baylor. You got to deal with Texas Tech. You got to deal with A&M. There's a lot of in-state rivalries now. Like back in the day, it was Texas and everybody. And then the under tiers, right? Like when it was Vince Young, it was Texas. Like,
it was just Texas.
Going to Texas meant something, right?
Yeah.
That was back with Mac Brown and everybody. Those days are gone.
Absolutely.
Now, right? Like now TCU was big for a while.
Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Not Texas Tech, but
Not
Oklahoma will come in and steal guys.
No, for sure. So like
Houston.
So the name Texas, yeah, for sure. Houston's
kind of like the state of Florida.
So SMU, I mean, they get some. Yeah. So like I think the luster. It's kind of like Florida State a little bit, where Texas just kind of lost its luster. It wasn't really that cool to go to and play for. I think with USC, I can't put a finger on that one. I really can't, because in terms of the Pac-12, that to me is probably the most enticing school to go to. There is history. Then I know there's scandal there as well, but universities have scandal these days.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So there's scandal, there's tradition, there's great talent out of there. I have no idea why USC can't make it work.
Yeah, so here's what I've always said about it, okay? And I understand. Listen, you can give me all the reasons. I get it. Mm-hmm. But what I'm telling you is when you have multiple coaches and you can't win in these places, is it really as good a job as you say it is? That's what I want you to just think about. You might still say yes, and you might be right, but is it really as good as you say it is? If you can't win in a place through 3-4 coaching cycles and over a decade of time, well, we're about to find out. This guy won at Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley is supposed to be one of the hot guys and great coaches.
That outdoor fireplace he's about to have. Oh, man, I can't wait to
It'll rival mine and Kingsbury's.
Lincoln shows up.
Especially when he goes to back to Oklahoma. Kingsbury's not going to leave just for the outdoor fire pit.
Yeah, what was that about, by the way? The whole Kingsbury thing.
I doubt it. But we'll see. Now, my point being, if he can't win there, can we at least have the conversation that USC might not be as good a job as everybody says it is? That's it. That's all I want to do is have that conversation that if Lincoln Riley can't do it and we go on 15 years plus without winning and really a cakewalk of a Pac-12, relatively speaking, to other places,
sure,
then it's not as good as you all say it is. That's
okay.
And again,
That's
I'm
fair.
not saying it's not, but I want to be proven. Like, people go win.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't win at a place and either that or here's my other thought, is your administration just sucks at hiring. It's either one of two things. That job's not as good as it used to be, or your administration's terrible at finding coaches.
I can't wait till Lincoln Riley goes to L.A. and he becomes L.A. Because I always saw Lincoln Riley was more like this blue collar type of young guy that's good.
He looks like he got off the farm.
Oh, bro, you just wait. He's gonna go to California. He's gonna get those Drew Brees implants in his hair a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Full head of hair. It's gonna be looking great, man. I can't wait. When he's gonna dye it blonde or something, slick back. Oh, I can't wait.
He's guaranteed gonna win a national championship at USC.
Really? You think so?
100%.
Put it down now.
Yeah, that's fine.
By the way, do you think?
I don't know when, though.
Does he become like the evil guy a little bit with this move in college football? People don't like this. Like, people, again, I don't care about Lincoln Riley at all. Like, if that's his best move for the family, well, maybe it is. But it just feels weird on the heels of a 6-year extension just a year ago. And again, we're in a world where you tell kids, hey, I'm going to promise you this, I'm going to promise. And then we vilify the kids. All the coaches vilify the kids for transferring in the transfer portal. Well, you got a guy that is winning, signs an extension. People commit to him, and now you got all these decommits saying now they're looking for a new school to go to. Like, that's the nature of the business. Sometimes I get it, but this one feels a little bit different because you know why? It feels very lateral. Like, you're already at a big-time program.
True.
You know, NFL would feel different. Why? Because I want to go to the NFL. Right? That's okay. We would be fine. I wouldn't be having this conversation.
It'd be like Matt Rule going to TCU. Like, why?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't get so. I think, and maybe I'm just alone here, but I feel like he's now like the villain of college football a little bit. I think people are going to root against Lincoln Riley.
Do you think if he was playing in a college football playoff or like they're in contention, he would have went to USC? Because, like, to me, it's hard to fathom. Like, to me, the season was a disappointment. Spencer Rattler wasn't who you thought he was.
Yeah. Which is on you a little bit.
No, it's definitely on you. Yeah. But, like, I just feel like it's like, it didn't go the way I thought I was going to go. Well, let me wash my hands and go to California. Yeah. That's what it feels like.
Glenn says, have you seen the SC cheerleaders, Brent? And my answer is yes. I was there for a game day. So
good.
I understand.
I don't know. Good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
all right.
But
Yeah, probably good. Oklahoma one.
I saw Riley walk off the plane with kids and a family. I think he's okay.
They got that wagon just going around the field. Boomer Sooner nonstop. Yeah.
My favorite is when they when he left and people were posting that little video of the wagon falling over.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, that's tough.
I mean, by the way, college football is better if USC is back in it. I think Oklahoma will always be relevant too. Like, they got to find somebody, but they'll find somebody.
But am I wrong though, Brent? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm naive because I'm on the East Coast. Like the fandom and like the tradition, doesn't Oklahoma have USC beat? Like in terms of fan support, in terms of just college football,
it's a weird thing. Like
environments.
If you grew up now, listen. By the way, Oklahoma and Nebraska have a rich tradition as well.
Yeah.
Like no doubt, they always have. Texas fits, and you name your schools. I mean, when you're talking about the blue bloods of college football, they're in the conversation.
Yeah.
But USC has always hit different. I mean, again, LA, California, the sun, like it does. There's something different about it. And I understand that, but I also would say, we know why Nebraska's not winning. You know why Nebraska's not winning? Is because the game has really changed, and there's nothing around Nebraska to recruit. Like, there are probably 6 good players in Nebraska that can play there, which means you got to go all over the place. Well, Oklahoma, no, that's not the problem. Oklahoma's got good high school football, first of all, and then they got Texas right there that you can go get. They got Louisiana you can go get. Now, California, they have no excuses not to be good at USC. California is an unbelievable state to recruit. Plus, throw in Nevada and Arizona where you can dip into, and even Texas you dip into. There's no excuse why they've been this poor in terms of on the national scene at USC, other than bad coaching hires, I guess. So maybe they got it right this time.
Nebraska's number one prospect for this class is going to Oregon, by the way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You can't lose your in-state guys.
Well, you can't.
Like,
well,
that's why
true.
Wisconsin has success, because like it means something to go to Wisconsin. You're not going to lose your in-state guys.
Yeah,
simply aren't going to do that.
But Nebraska, in fairness to them, like almost every other state has more in-state guys than Nebraska.
Yeah.
You know, if you think about like Louisiana, Ohio, Wisconsin, I think there's better. Pennsylvania. There's just better overall football there.
I get the whole city thing, like, LA for sure over Oklahoma. But, like, in terms of fandom, I don't know. I feel like you have a pretty good thing there in Oklahoma.
I do, too. And maybe, listen, some people get tired of it. Then don't sign the 6-year, $45 million deal, I guess. I mean,
did you see
easy for me to say.
Did you see the King Stanley Cup parade? 20 people showed up to that thing because they had other things to do. Well, what's USC going to do?
I agree with what you said. I didn't really think about it much. Is that he doesn't feel like an LA guy.
No, not at all.
He really doesn't.
I can't wait till he turns heel. Now, if we can just get Lane Kiffin to go to Miami. Oh, Brent, you want to talk about the college football season, about college football seasons?
Is Lane Kiffin going to go to LSU?
Well, there is. What the heck is LSU doing if he's not?
Trolling. Yeah.
I mean, they let other coaches get hired, and they've had the opening the longest.
Couldn't you see Lane Kiffin? I mean, I don't think. Was he was at USC, right? Or what was the?
He was at USC.
Yeah. But like Lane Kiffin seems like a USC guy.
No,
Jack Del Rio, USC guy.
Absolutely.
Lincoln Riley does not seem like a USC guy.
I'll give you something else. Pete Carroll is more USC than Lincoln Riley feels USC.
Absolutely.
Even as an older guy.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Nah.
You don't see that?
No.
Lincoln Riley's going to wear a cowboy hat when he gets introduced to as a Trojans coach.
I got to see more pictures with Lincoln Riley in shades, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. He's young and hip, kind of. I don't know. He's going to bring his hipness from Oklahoma.
I feel like he's a country boy.
Hey, you saw that jet he got off of? That wasn't country at all.
Yeah, it was not country at all.
They don't play. There's a lot of money being thrown around.
Right there.
LSU's. I mean, I think you can make the case that LSU's a better job than USC. People don't want to hear that. But LSU, man, they throw everything at you, and it's right there, and it is. But they've got a lot of friction.
True.
In the SEC.
And you're guaranteed to get fired in 4 years when you don't beat Alabama.
Well, but you will at USC too, if you don't win.
Well, yeah, but you can win by default. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler, hopefully go to Wisconsin.
Hey, back to the NFL and also Tiger Woods. Will he ever play again? He has an answer for us. I love it. Maybe brighten up my day on a Monday. We'll be back on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690. Clear skies as we head through this evening. Temperatures overnight dropped out into the mid to upper 30s. A light frost possible inland away from the river. Upper 30s to low 40s at the coast, but plenty of sunshine for Tuesday with highs in the upper 60s. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Beatonball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where now you can save up to 41% off during Beard's anniversary sale.
Know what time it is? It's time to get moving. Cora Physical Therapy has opened a new state-of-the-art clinic in Kingsland on Boone and Haddock, and will be opening another one soon in Brunswick. With Cora, you have access to licensed, passionate clinicians, only the most innovative equipment, and life-changing therapies. Cora is all about treating everyone right now. It's your move. Visit coraphysicaltherapy.com for a free screening. No physician's referral required. Same-day appointments available.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE? Both of these conditions are highly treatable.
Ladies, if your man is suffering from ED or PE, he should talk to the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center.
If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom because of ED or PE, the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center offer custom blended medications.
There's no pain or surgery. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues, not a problem.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
Men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And best of all, it's affordable.
for a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center, call 904-664-8217.
That's 904-664-8217. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your consultation is free.
Call Prime Men's Medical Center at 904-664-8217.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-333-1750. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-333-1750. That's 800-333-1750. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-333-1750. 800-333-1750.
For the ones who are always in the know.
Delivery confirmed.
For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, experienced staff at local branches, and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're getting engaged, celebrating an anniversary, birthday, or shopping early for the holidays, you do not want to miss Beard's Diamonds' incredible 41st anniversary sale.
Everything store-wide is on sale up to an unbelievable 41% off.
Yes, 41% off.
It's Beard's Diamonds' incredible anniversary sale, going on now until November 30th.
All GIA certified loose diamonds, all designer settings, pendants, bracelets, earrings, engagement rings.
Everything store-wide is on sale up to 41% off.
Believe it.
For over 4 decades, families have been shopping at Beard's Diamonds for the absolute lowest prices.
Now to say thank you, everything in the store is discounted up to 41% off.
Nobody beats Beard's Diamonds prices.
If you're popping the question soon, celebrating a big anniversary, or even shopping early for the holidays,
now you can go even bigger and save thousands.
Everything store-wide is on sale up to 41% off.
Beard's Diamonds will never be beat on price.
At the St. John's Town Center.
Or at beardsdiamonds.com.
You've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes.
you have to carefully monitor your health for the rest of your life. And you have an increased risk of developing cardiovascular disease.
Cut. Take 2. Action.
You've been diagnosed with a new purpose, to fight for the amazing life you made for yourself. To look that risk of heart disease square in the face and say, no, not me. You've been given a new opportunity to live. Get started at NoDiabetesByHeart.org.
Whether on your radio, on your phone, or your smart speaker.
Now playing ESPN Radio.
He's seen guys that's not even going to make the team. He's going to throw for 4,000 yards in a game.
Wake up with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
102 to play, 6-3, Ravens on top. Ravens with 3 timeouts, and the pass is intercepted by Lamar Jackson. He threw it to the middle of the field, and Grant Delpit was able to reel it in, and the Browns have excellent field position, and they're streaming out onto the field celebrating with their defense.
I forgot about that.
Big Grant Delpit guy right here, bro. I want him here. Wanted him here second round.
Okay, so Grant Delpit picks off a pass last night.
Oh, I was triggered.
In the pick frenzy. Only Baltimore. Well, not only Baltimore. Just, can you imagine how bad the Jags would have lost yesterday if they threw 4 picks, like in any game? And freaking Baltimore wins.
I know.
I mean, I think the previous stat was like 0 for 52.
Yeah.
Teams that threw 4 picks in a game.
And they were bad. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, the receiver. No. Hey, Lamar Jackson.
I'll give Lamar Jackson credit, but Lamar Jackson, he can be so good. But then he does have bad days. Like, I mean, he can really play bad first halves and stuff. Like, he's had those. This year he's had a couple of them, really. But at least after the game, he basically was like, why are you interviewing me? I sucked so bad.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go watch a film. I'm trying not to say something I shouldn't say. Yeah. And so I appreciate that out of him. Meanwhile, like Mike Tirico's like, let's go down to the star of the game, Lamar Jackson. The star of the game. He threw 4 picks. There is a little bit about Lamar Jackson.
Gutsy effort, a gutsy performance.
Like, Lamar Jackson is such a human highlight reel that we overdo it sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like, Lamar Jackson runs for 12 yards and Chris Collinsworth's out of his mind. It's like, dude, he ran for 12 yards.
Yeah, but it's the way that it looks, though, man. He's so smooth with it, Brent. Come on now.
He's like, he's just, it's just so over the top.
Oh, have some, hey, are you a little bitter, though? You a little bitter because we don't have that
No, I'm
guy
not
right
bitter
here?
about Lamar Jackson. I'm bitter of the fact that they can throw 4 picks and get a win, and this franchise can't get a W like ever.
Oh, yeah. Interception, it's game over. 1 interception, 1 turnover.
But yes, to answer your question, I'm bitter. Like, I want everybody's favorite team right now to lose.
Sure.
I want everybody to feel miserable.
Well, and you want where if you throw 4 interceptions that you lose the game, because that's what the NFL gods should. Yeah.
And also, I picked Cleveland in the fight for the fedora.
Well, sorry about that. It happens in bunches, though.
By the way, in fantasy, we had a heck of a battle going on. We were both awful in fantasy football.
I don't even know what to do anymore in fantasy.
He had the defense for the Ravens going. Yeah. I was up by like 3 points going into last night. I had Justin Tucker. He had the defense.
Yeah.
It was a good battle, but Justin Tucker won the day for me.
By the way,
I don't know about fantasy. I mean,
by the way, check the projected playoffs right now. Guess who slid into that 4th spot?
I'm out, right? I'm not even in it. I'm out.
Yeah.
My last 3 weeks, there's
Hey, Chris Godwin. Sorry, Brett. Hey, Chris Godwin, though, 2.7 points?
No, minus, I think it was, wasn't it?
No,
we got on the plus side.
You want to hear this one? I switched Fournette for Godwin and Daly.
Wow.
Well, good for you with that one. Yeah. And then, I don't know, Bullock, 0 points kicking for Tennessee. What's Tennessee doing, you know?
Bullock got me a 0 the other week as well. So, yeah, Tennessee's not any good.
And then Jalen Hurts, you're hurt. I get it.
Played him and Daly.
Jalen Hurts.
He's hurt?
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he's banged up.
Yeah, he can be bad, too.
Could be the Gardner Minshew show. Easy, because Daniel Jones is knocking her socks off.
Daniel Jones beat the Eagles, all right? Easy. Not the week for you to go here.
You sure was him with the Saquon Barkley. And by the way, Brent, I say this every single week. I watched a lot of that because, implications, obviously.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of that Giants game. Can you stop running the ball with Daniel Jones, please? And stop letting – I'm not even – it's getting to the point where I'm going to file a grievance. Because you're asking for problems here with Daniel Jones. Give it to Saquon.
Give it more to Saquon.
But congratulations on the fantasy victory.
Whatever. I will say this. Fantasy football, this is how bad it is on my fantasy football team right now. My team is worse than the Jags offense.
Yeah.
And I still won yesterday.
You still won.
I mean, I've got off to a great start. I'm in first place, but I have not been good the last few weeks.
Can someone, I didn't watch the game. How does Chris Godwin only have?
You say that.
He fumbled and Tom was done with him. He wouldn't throw him the ball.
Listen, 38 points for the Bucs, and Brady has like 11 fantasy points.
Oh, I know.
41 points for Cincinnati, and Jamar Chase has like 5 fantasy points. How's that even possible?
It was the Fournette show. Yeah.
And
Justin
Joe Mixon,
Tucker's my leading scorer.
By the way,
but how about the catch by Odell Beckham? That was huge.
Better send Odell Beckham Jr. an edible arrangement real quick, because that was the win for you right there.
I will tell you, I mean,
was that long pass?
I should really play in like 5 fantasy leagues. It's the only thing that keeps me going on a Sunday.
That's why I'm in 3 of them.
That's why I'm in 4. Yeah,
and I'm winning them.
By the way, were you the one that dropped Myles Gaskin? Appreciate that.
Yeah. Got him off my team. I know he's doing well right now. He's absolutely crushing it.
Incredible.
Didn't like his behavior. Didn't like his mindset. Not right for team lane here.
Yeah. Well, since I've had him, I think I'm 3-0. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, sometimes the Jaguars cut Leonard Fournette. And he has 4 touchdowns too. So I don't know what you want me to tell you. All right. I'm happy with Darrell Henderson.
I am so happy for Leonard Fournette.
And that guy from New Orleans who got me 2.7 points.
Jones?
T. Jones Jr. I don't even know his first name. I don't care about his first name.
I'm going to talk Tiger Woods in a moment.
Troy.
Even on a football Monday, just because I love Tiger Woods. And he talked for the first time in like 9 months since the accident.
Oh, you're gushing, aren't you?
I am a little bit.
Yeah.
But I will say this. The Fournette stuff is good for Fournette.
Mm-hmm.
I said this before. Fournette would not do this in Jacksonville. Fournette was not mature enough in Jacksonville. Fournette goes to Brady and the Bucs. He makes them better. He turns his career around. But that would not have happened here. This would have been too toxic for Fournette. He wasn't ready for that. He seriously was not mature enough. I think he's kind of admitted it. All you have to do is watch what he says.
Yeah.
And Brady has made him better. The Bucs have made him better. And now you're seeing a guy blossoming. Good for him. But listen, sitting here and talking about Leonard Fournette and, oh, my gosh, a former – nah, listen, James Robinson, worry more about James Robinson not getting the ball enough and less about what Fournette's doing, because he wouldn't be doing that here, not to this degree.
No, for sure. Fournette, when he was here, he was counted on to be the leader of the team, it seems like, especially on offense. You go to Tampa Bay, guys like Mike Evans, Tom Brady, Gronkowski, Cameron. There's just a laundry list of leaders and veteran guys in that team. You didn't have to be the leader. All you had to do is be the running back. And it shows when he was in that position, he's doing pretty well with it.
Yeah. Quick thought on Tiger Woods. By the way, he'll be at the Hero World Challenge this week. Press conference in the morning. But he talked to Golf Digest. I wonder if they paid him for that, if he's got a relationship with Golf Digest. It's exclusive.
It's good. It's a heck of a get.
Jason Sobel said this. This is what he said in an interview with Golf Digest. I think something that is realistic is playing the tour one day. Never full-time ever again, but pick and choose, just like Mr. Ben Hogan did. It's an unfortunate reality, but it's my reality. I understand it, and I accept it. After my back fusion, I had to climb Mount Everest one more time. I had to do it, and I did. This time around, I don't think I'll have the body to climb Mount Everest, and that's okay. I don't think that's a realistic expectation. Some of the parts of his interview. So he's going to try to play again competitively is what it sounds like. He's getting around. I saw him walking into the interview. We saw him swinging recently. So Tiger Woods going to play golf again, probably competitively. But it's interesting to hear him say he doesn't think basically he's going to win another major, because the Mount Everest, getting back on top of the mountain, was the major.
Yeah.
And he doesn't think he's going to play to that degree. He's going to go play and have fun and compete a little bit. But it looks like his expectations are super low coming off the car accident.
What was the final diagnosis of the car accident?
Oh, man, I forget. It was broken everything. The whole leg was
nerve
mangled pretty good.
Stuff. Yeah.
I think a lot of people wondered, one, if he would walk again, two, if he would be able to actually swing the golf club.
Sure.
Just with the movement, you know, and the motion. And if you looked at his swing that he posted like last week or something, it didn't look like it was that abnormal. Like, I don't think if somebody had posted that video 5 years ago, I think it would look like Tiger Woods warming up.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that he's got the mobility in it like that. But he's a little Humpty Dumpty now.
Yeah.
You know, he's been broken and
let him
put
use
back
a golf
together.
cart. I don't even care. Let us let him use a golf cart.
Yes.
Special exemption. Let's go.
That'd be interesting, right? If all of a sudden,
hey,
I don't think they will for this.
No, I understand, but hey, if you have to sign a petition, I'll sign the petition, Brent.
So anyway, that's the update on Tiger Woods.
Cool.
Which is great news for golf fans.
Yeah.
We'll see when he comes back, but he will compete again. I think that'll be a big moment. But I also think he's not retiring.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's basically set the expectation like, hey, if you love me, don't plan on me being like number one in the world or on Ryder Cups. Or,
yeah, but maybe he's slow playing this, Brent. Maybe he's better than he's ever been before.
He could. Expectations are.
Maybe it's like that rookie, the movie Rookie of the Year, Henry Rodengartner, when he breaks his stuff and then he comes back and throws like 90 miles per hour.
Yes.
Maybe Tiger Woods got in that accident and all of a sudden like his hip, I don't know, mobility or like his hip pivot, whatever you use in golf, hips core, maybe it's better than ever before.
The glutes.
Yeah, maybe the glutes got a big upgrade and now all of a sudden like he's crushing the bar.
I never understood like activating the glutes. It was a big joke, but it's like a real thing in golf. Now that I'm like in my mid-40s,
I'm all set.
It's not necessarily your glutes. I think it's like the hips. Like the hips move slow at like 8 in the morning, but by 10 o'clock, your hips can get going a little fast.
You're supposed to squeeze? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know. I just feel like you're when you get a little older.
Yeah.
You're slow to get loose.
Okay, I know for sure.
So
hey, I'm 34. I know.
I can.
Especially when it gets cold outside.
I cannot relate to much with Tiger Woods, but I can relate to the less activation of glutes. How about the silly money going around in Major League Baseball? You see, Corey Seager just signed 10-year, $325 million. Texas Rangers are spending a ton of money.
Is that real? I haven't seen it.
Brent, careful.
No, it's
Careful
passing.
now.
It's passing. He just said it 3 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
Now, listen, Casey, I'm all over this stuff, man. I'm up to the minute. It's up to the minute, Martin.
I like that. Meanwhile, I'm just staring at Ben Wallace here. A picture of him surfaced at a Lakers/Pistons game, and wow, does he look old? And now I feel old myself.
I'm watching Spider-Man 2.
Wow.
The newer one or the older ones?
The old Tobey Maguire.
Hey,
Really?
are the Mets crazy for paying that kind of money to Scherzer?
No, absolutely not. Are they crazy? No, not at all.
It's baseball.
You know, like
dude's legit.
No, he's really
Garrett
good.
Cole gets $36 million a year. They paid him $43 million a year. He's 37.
Yeah, but now this is kind of a Mets thing, though, isn't it? Don't the Mets always kind of overpay and then
Yeah,
how does that
Mets.
pan?
Really, the Yankees aren't spending right now.
Ooh, small ball for the Yankees?
Small ball for the
Small
Yankees.
ball?
Well, they
Money
got
ball?
Judge to lock up.
Oh, good point.
That'll probably cost like $600 million.
Is Stanton still? What's the deal on Stanton?
Does he still play?
I think he had more home runs than he. Ouch.
We'll be back.
Right?
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Back to some football when we come back.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12. He will go down. He finds the promised land. Touchdown, FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
Outside the numbers to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. It's a touchdown, Florida State. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line. Noles win.
Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long, right here on your home for Florida State football.
Sponsored by Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Hi, I'm Pauline Savigny, owner of Grace Aerospace and a hyper-connected mentoring graduate of the Jacksonville Women's Business Center. Being a member of Jack's Chamber and involved with JWBC has provided me with many great new relationships. Success doesn't come without strong support, and the people of JWBC have provided exactly that. JWBC furthers my confidence in that deliverance by providing a strong group of women business leaders to connect with, learn from, and lean on. For more information, visit jackschamberfoundation.org.
Can health insurance redefine customer service? With agents who truly know Florida, it can. Our exclusive Florida Blue agents know your area, the doctors in it, and the plan that's right for you. They'll even make sure you get the most from your plan, helping you earn hundreds of dollars in rewards. What else can health insurance do? Find out at floridablue.com. Florida Blue, your local Blue Cross Blue Shield. Rewards available for individual ACA members 18 years or older and subject to the reward program's terms and conditions. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
Hey, Bruiser, you ready to do the old holiday shopping routine?
Yeah, I got all the houses picked out.
Alrighty.
Hey, you know, I almost feel sorry for these folks.
Oh, don't go soft on me now. That's why they pay insurance.
Okay, so you promise those kids will just lose their bikes for a little while?
Yeah, I promise. Whatever.
All right, then let's sing our favorite holiday song.
Yeah. We're making our list, checking it twice.
Looking for houses with things that are nice. Bruiser and Browser are coming to town. We're filling our truck, we won't leave much.
Avoiding those houses that got safe touch.
Bruiser and Browser are coming to town.
Crime does increase during the holidays. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, owner of Safe Touch Security Systems. Our new Safe Touch two-way communicator saves lives and prevents property loss every day. Our average response time is an incredible 14 seconds. Nobody can match our servers or our price. You have my guarantee on it.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
CMG Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit cmglocalsolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level. That's cmglocalsolutions.com or call 904-245-8878.
From city streets to back roads, from road warrior to carpooler, there are some things you can always count on, like the reliability, durability, and power of Die Hard, America's most trusted auto battery. No matter where your journey takes you, count on Die Hard to get you started on the road ahead. Available at your local Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest stores.
Hey sports fans, are you ready to get in on a piece of the action? The only thing better than your football team winning is when you have some skin in the game.
This is Ultimate Vegas insider John Anthony, and if you're looking to cash in on tonight's big game, Seattle, Washington, I've got you covered. Documented 73% against the spread.
Call 1-800-244-5506 for my absolutely free side and total on the recorded message line. That's 1-800-244-5506. What are you waiting for? Get off the sideline. Call 1-800-244-5506 now.
Seattle, Washington, side and total, free on the recorded message line.
Every touchdown and victory dance just got that much sweeter. But before you get in on the action, call 1-800-244-5506 or go to VegasScoresAndOdds.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
Hey, it's Brett Mortno from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Yeah, they fought their tails off, and we couldn't. 84 is a really good player for them, and he hurt us early. And then offense, we moved the ball a little bit, not just no big plays. Just none. And then all of a sudden we started getting some. This is offensive football is a big play. Not many teams can drive the length of field without a hit here and there. And we had some hits and scored a couple times. I was really proud of Tavon, who's been in this league for a long time. I just love who he is, what he stands for, and he competes. And same with Treadwell. These guys are starting for the Jaguars now, and they're competing their tails off.
God bless him for competing.
Oh, I love heel Brent Martineau. I love it.
I didn't expect Urban Meyer to settle into the losing so easily.
Yeah. I think
Why am I more mad than Urban is?
Because he's getting paid a lot more than you are.
Yeah, but my job doesn't depend on it.
Yeah. Do you think he's trying to salvage his locker room? You think that's the biggest worry right now?
Yeah,
listen, he doesn't want to lose guys.
To be honest with you, we should probably give him a little bit of credit for not going crazy and understanding that this is going to be a bigger process. Mm-hmm. But I also think he can. Again, we'll talk more about this at Football 5, but he can be more in tune with what's going on in terms of James Robinson playing and other things, and also more upset at things like, are you kidding me? We can't line up, or we're not running the right routes, or we're not doing this. Things that are very coachable, and we're here in late November, and we're still talking about. If I was Cleveland, what I watched last night, where they had 12 men on the field and they couldn't even operate a couple of times, I think it's okay to go crazy on the podium and say it to everybody that's inexcusable, And Urban's very calm right now, and it's like, okay, it's 2-15 is going to be all right, I guess, as long as we do a little bit better on third downs. Like, I know he doesn't mean that and believe that and feel that, but at the same time, it's kind of, I thought he'd be a little more out of his mind being 2-9 in the offense operating this way.
I remember, the whole ordeal at the bar in Cincinnati or whatever like that went down. And you brought up the point that after that, for the next couple of weeks, he kind of lost his bravado.
He did.
Right? He didn't seem to have, that it factor that we've grown accustomed to have with Urban Meyer. Do you think that is still resonating with him and people in that building where it's like, well, how much can I really get on guys right now? How much can I really, rule with an iron fist? Because maybe we aren't past that point of Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, I think maybe there was a little bit of humility there in terms of the people around him that supported him and didn't, bail at the time. And maybe he feels a little owed to, hey, listen, I screwed up earlier this year. You guys are screwing up here and there.
So
I'm not gonna hammer you, but let's get it right? I'm trying to get my stuff
have
right.
My back, I have your back now.
A little bit of that, and maybe that goes a long way, by the way. So I think there could be something. And I actually said after the Bills game, I thought he did get his bravado back a little bit. I think there's more of that Urban. But when your offense is struggling this much and you're an offensive guy and your special teams is struggling this much and you're a special teams guy, there's no bravado in that. It's more like fix it. It's time to fix it. He's getting paid a lot of money now. And he's been brought in to do a tough job, no doubt. They were coming off 1-15. But we have got to see something. And we're now getting to the point where I'm not sure we're going to see anything. We might go into the 2022 offseason and not have really learned a whole hell of a lot about this football team in terms of growth and the direction that it's going. And that's not a good thing because we thought we'd see something of the sort. I think that's what's left to play for the Jags. They have got to see something better than what we're seeing so far. Hope everybody had a good holiday weekend out there. Let's bring in Captain Rick Riles, Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. We get him in early here on a Monday. Hope you had a nice Thanksgiving, man.
I competed my tail off. I'm going to tell you right now. I pulled right up to the table and I went off tackle, and I mean I was fine. Brent, are you a little worried that we're becoming the Detroit Lions of the South? I've always thought about Detroit. Well, nobody's going to go there because they can't win, and they can't win because nobody's ever going to go there. No serious free agents are going to say, "Hey, I really want to go to Jacksonville and go 2-16." I mean, does that resonate with you?
Yeah. Well, listen. First of all, Detroit's been losing for a heck of a lot longer. The Jags have lost for 15 years. I know that seems like forever, but it's not uncommon, to be honest with you. I mean, there are a lot of other franchises that have done it. But, yeah, listen, they are in that class of the Lions right now. I don't think the free agency stuff holds as much. Maybe there are some that don't want to play for Urban Meyer because it's Urban Meyer and they've heard some stories or whatever that might be. But the money talks, man. I mean, the Jags have money. If they pay enough money and they judge the market right, they can land guys. That is never going to – I don't think that's as big a problem as people say. We've seen it once in a while, and they probably actually benefited. Olivier Vernon is a guy that wanted to play in New York and took a little more money, or the Jags had ponied up just about as much money, but he said, I would rather play in New York. I don't want to play in Jacksonville. But very few times I think that's happened if the money's right, Captain Rick.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm ready to see some more Calais Campbells come running in here.
Me too.
Free agency myself, I tell you. Hey, let's talk fishing because it was really good over the weekend, regardless of what you were doing. It just seemed to be one of those weekends. Captain Robert Johnson reported from the Jody Lynn 2 from the Gulf Stream that they had a great catch of tuna. They had a handful of wahoo, had 3 or 4 sailfish bites. The sailfish seem to be back inshore about 130, 140 feet. Then you get out to 180 feet, and it's wahoo and tuna. And, man, that's some good fishing right there. And the guys, hopefully this week, it looks like we got a couple of days that even the smaller boats may be able to do it. You get a little bit closer to shore, and the mutton snapper biting really well. On the Jody Lynn 1 yesterday, I know they had 8 of the big mutton snapper. Man, that is some great eating. Had plenty of triggerfish and vermilions to go in on that. I know Tim Altman on the Hoodoo got in on that. He had a real nice catch of triggerfish. That was a pretty sloppy ride home. Get back inshore, and the fishing's really good. David Voorhees said the water is cleared up back on the flats tremendously. It's crystal clear now, and they can sight fish the reds. what the Reds are doing in these higher tides of the afternoon, they're getting up on what was exposed at low tide as a mud flat because the sun warms it. Even if the weather's cold, the sun will beat down into that mud, and it will be the warmest water around. The Reds are taking advantage of that in the afternoon. So we're going to have those conditions almost all week. So it's going to be a very, very good week to fish. I don't see any wind coming in until Friday, but there's one thing you can count on. We'll be back tomorrow to check on it with another fishing report brought to you by CSS Landscaping. They are paying top dollar for top landscapers and Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing. Thank you, Brent.
All right, have a good one, Captain Rick. Appreciate it. That is Captain Rick Riles, Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. Speaking of eating, prime rib, good on Thanksgiving.
Brent, I'll tell you what, man. Turkey, we'll see you later. I don't ever eat turkey again in my life. We went prime rib, and I couldn't have been happier with the decision. Prime rib 3 nights in a row, though. Little excess, right? Because we did Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I mean, my son had other stuff, but my wife did as well. But I'm like, we got prime rib. It was like a 7-pound prime rib. Keep it coming.
Let's go.
I had some leftovers. So, yeah, I was very impressed with how that turned out.
How much of the work did you do, or Cody do most of it?
I found the recipe.
Okay, fair enough.
I screenshot the recipe and sent it to her.
All right.
Okay. Do you want to ask how much did you contribute to your Thanksgiving meal?
Nothing. That's why I got out of town.
See, that's right. You are out of town. That's right. How was yours, man? I mean, yours was a lot.
It's good.
Cooler than mine.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Mom was surprised and listened to the show.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't listen to the show.
Good.
She didn't know. Shame on Mom for not listening to the show, but a good thing she didn't listen to the show.
That's on her.
So, yeah, it was good. It was good to be home and see everybody. We got a couple of snowflakes. Kids likes that.
Went to the pizza spot?
Kids like that.
Or was it closed?
No, it's closed.
Oh, that's right.
So we didn't do the pizza spot.
Dang.
But we had some good eats.
Cool.
Donuts. I've told you. Did you see my tweet about the donuts?
I didn't.
See, in Rhode Island, Wisconsin has the same things as Rhode Island. Sometimes they're funny words. We call chocolate sprinkles or rainbow sprinkles. They call them jimmies.
Jimmies?
Yeah.
That's not a Wisconsin
okay.
thing.
Well,
Yep.
so for this conversation, for some reason, in Rhode Island only, maybe a small part of Massachusetts, they have chocolate frosted donuts.
Yeah.
With chocolate sprinkles on them.
Yeah.
But if you go to any other Dunkin' Donuts, you won't find them anywhere. Now,
Now
I don't know why.
Now you love chocolate, obviously.
I don't love chocolate, but I love these donuts.
Really?
And it's a huge difference between rainbow sprinkles or chocolate,
And chocolate sprinkles.
So
Jimmy's.
Ty, by the way, had like more than a dozen donuts. I hope he steps on the scale, and it's like 120.
Yeah, you better get on a
If he
treadmill,
didn't
though, too,
gain
get some
weight,
shape.
we got to go to the hospital.
Okay. Man, sometimes it's that metabolism boosted.
All right, football at 5 rolls on. Shad Khan has owned the team 10 years, technically today. It might not be a technicality, but the announcement was 10 years ago today. How's he done? We'll talk a little bit about that when we come back on ESPN 690.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to let the good times roll. And by roll, I mean roll on home in a brand new Toyota, because Toyotathon is on at Arlington Toyota. Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma. Arlington Toyota has 300 new Toyotas available. And with Arlington's 30-day exchange program and lifetime warranty with every new purchase, buying your new Toyota's more fun than ever. Toyotathon is on at Arlington, 10939 Atlanta Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for full details.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Mortno. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts. Jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax.
Sick of big banks drawing money out of Jacksonville? Want your money to stay here and help local folks? At 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, all of our capital is invested back into Northeast Florida. This includes our all-new hometown credit card. You get all the rewards and perks of a big bank, and every swipe invests back in Jax. Get 2 points for every dollar, up to 50,000 bonus points, 24/7 fraud protection, pay with points, and tons more. Support your community with a hometown credit card from 1-to-1 Financial. Apply at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA, a proud Visa partner.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Kevin Winter. Breaking news from Major League Baseball. Shortstop Corey Seager and the Texas Rangers. You ready? You ready? 10-year deal, $325 million. Let's try it again. 10 years, $325 million. Seager slash line, 295, 364, and 501 with 100 homers over his last 609 games from 2016 to 2021. Corey Seager helped the Dodgers win the World Series 2 years ago, and now he's going to Texas, which is spending money like drunken sailors. Last night, the Rangers gave second baseman Marcus Semien a 7-year, $175 million deal. That's the Rangers. I'm going to need a second here. By the way, AL Cy Young Award winner Robbie Ray and the Mariners, they're finalizing a 5-year, $115 million deal with an opt-out after 3. Oh, by the way, this day started with Max Scherzer getting 3 years at $130 from the New York Mets.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Well, I talked to our defensive staff, and you know, do you replace the player? Do you, what do you do? I agree with you. We all see it, and those are the way we have to attack those things. There are 3 turnovers there. You look at the first drive against 49ers, we had 3 sacks on one drive. So we have to attack it as if it's a turnover and make some decisions.
That is Urban Meyer. I got to be honest with you. If I'm the Jags, if I'm Urban Meyer, I don't want to say I don't care about the defense, but right now it's so secondary because it's being dwarfed by just miserable offense. And so if you go give up 35 points to the Rams, so be it.
Yeah.
Give me 28 on the scoreboard for you and stop the stupid stuff on special teams. Like, that would be like, it's really sometimes like you lose and it's the way you lose, you know, like the way I honestly don't think, like, if they were to put up points and lose games like 31-28 and 34-31 and 35-32, I honestly don't think people would be as mad around here. Now, they'd still be mad because you hate losing. Yeah. But at least, you know what that would be? Offense. That'd be Urban Meyer's offense. That'd be Trevor Lawrence growth. That'd be dynamic stuff to at least hang on to. Well, right now, we've got a defense that's, you know what, playing probably above their pay grade, getting better. Is it something you can hang your hat on going forward? I said to somebody last couple of days, listen, I can easily see this defense being pretty good next year. Because if you add a couple free agents, a couple of draft picks, they've got some pieces. And then year 2 of this defense, some growth from Tyson Campbell and other guys. I bet they'll be a pretty good defense next year.
And at least,
but I almost don't care about that.
Well, at least you have hope for the scheme.
Yeah, true.
Like, I mean, the defensive side of things, like the scheme, I think, yeah, you interject some more players in there, some better talent. And, yeah, I think you're going to be okay. And, you know, regardless of what it's looked like here, the past 11 weeks, I mean, if you hold Atlanta to 21 points, you have a shot to win the game.
Yeah.
If you hold the Colts to 23 points, you got a shot to win the game. If you hold the Bengals to 24 points, you got a shot to win the game. Cardinals, 31 points. Yeah, it's a lot, but hey, it's the Cardinals. You might have a shot to win the game. Denver Broncos, 23 points. You got a shot to win the game. What you don't have a shot of doing is when you score 14 points, 10 points, 17 points, 7 points. You can't win a lot of ball games like that. Like,
they're lucky they won with 9.
You lucked out because you won with 9, much to your defense's help as well. But you cannot sustain success if you're scoring. And I'm not sure what they're averaging per game right now. It's got to be one of the worst in the NFL, if not the worst in the NFL. But you can't have sustained success if you're putting up only 14 points, 10 points, 17 points a game. It's just not going to happen.
Football at 5, Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz on a Monday. A decade ago, one of the wildest of news conferences. Shad Khan announced as the new owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Wayne Weaver was selling the team. And
by the
Jack
way,
Del Rio fired.
Did you see that coming? When Weaver was
I got to go back in time a little bit. Again, I think there were some rumblings like 24 hours, 36 hours before the announcement. What I think was more stunning that day is that we thought Del Rio would get fired. I'm not sure we thought it was happening that day.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, all right, we thought we were there for the ownership announcement because by that time word had started to trickle in. Everybody's like Googling who's Shad Khan. And I remember that. I don't remember thinking, hey, this year they're going to sell the Jags. Like, I don't think there was like, hey, he's actively looking to sell the Weavers.
Sure.
But it made some sense. But I don't think anybody expected, hey, we sold the team. And by the way, Jack Del Rio's fired. And Mel Tucker's taken over.
Yeah.
Like, that was wild.
Yeah.
Now look at 10 years later, Mel Tucker's getting a 10-year deal for about $100 million at Michigan State.
Yeah. Good for him, man.
Wow. Life comes at you fast.
It does come at you fast. Oh.
The record is awful for Shad Khan as owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
It's been Mike Mularkey. It's been Gus Bradley. It's been Dave Caldwell, Tom Coughlin, Doug Marrone, Urban Meyer. And it hasn't changed. I mean, outside of the 1 year where everything popped, which, by the way, we can't just say it was a lost year. I mean, that was a big year. It was a big-time year.
Sure.
Like, I'm not sure my kids would be a fan of the team if not for that year. Seriously. Like, I'm talking about that generation. I'm probably being a little dramatic, but generation at least got, like, you lured them in a little bit with that season.
Yeah.
But 1 out of 10 isn't going to be a success in any business.
Nope.
Okay? So the wins and losses is a major concern and problem and something you can't hide. They've been bad under Shad Khan. And they really weren't great at the end of the Wayne Weaver era, but in a crazy way, they were better.
Yeah.
But do you look, so there's the football side of things, it's been a disaster. How much of it's on ownership? How much does ownership wear that? I think that's more debatable, although it's under Shad Khan's resume, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're the owner, so eventually, I mean, it all falls on you. whether, you have the X and O knowledge or not. I mean, it does start with you. If you're asking me how much of the blame goes to Shad, I believe Shad Khan wants to win. I don't believe that you become a billionaire, and you don't have that killer instinct. You don't have that mentality where it's like, I got to be successful in whatever I do. Okay, that's how you become a billionaire. You have to understand that. There's not a lot of those in this world. They're a special type of people that they're wired a different way. So, yeah, I still believe wholeheartedly that Shad Khan wants to win. Yeah, sure, you want to make a return on your investment as well, but you want to win because if you win, then you get the return on your investment. So I think in terms of, if you want to go back to, how it all started, with Malarkey, I always said I was a Malarkey fan, right? I have a lot of respect for him as a coach, the way he went about things, because he kind of had that old school demeanor, and that just, from my perspective, I know it rubbed some other players the wrong way. I enjoyed it, all right? I respected the way the guy coached football. Now, it didn't work. Maybe some promises were made that didn't transpire, whatever the case, but he's gone after a year. Okay, I get it. You're new, Shad Khan. You want to go in a different direction. Sounds good. So then you go to Gus Bradley, who, he was kind of, in terms, I'm sure, the interview, probably the best interview you ever sat through, right? Yeah. I mean, the guy's got energy for days, a great person, salt of the earth, a great human being. You go through the whole Gus Bradley experiment, doesn't work out here. And then you go with the whole Doug Marrone.
That's one you want to work, right? Everybody wants Gus to win.
Of course.
They hang on longer than a lot of fans wanted them to.
Of course. And then, with Dave Caldwell, then it's, well, it is built, and, it wasn't obviously built. I mean, it's just, there's so many just little points in time, it seems like, the past 10 years that Shad Khan's been here, that you can look to and be like, well, that wasn't good. Well, that wasn't good. Well, that wasn't good. Well, the writing should have been on the wall. Hindsight's 20/20, and then the whole Tom Coughlin ordeal and Doug Marrone, who was running the show, chain of communication. Should Shad Khan have come in and maybe took a little more control? Yeah, probably. But the general consensus of what all these mishaps have in common, set aside from 2017, where you had success, is the fact that the chain of command was off and you just didn't know how to operate things. Now, whether that's on Shad Khan, whether that's on the people that Shad Khan put in charge to run things, but there has to be some kind of responsibility that falls on the owner, because this is your show at the end of the day, and it hasn't been a good one the past decade.
No, it hasn't. Listen, you can't run from that. I mean, I love Shad Khan. I think he's really good for the organization, for the city, for a lot of different things, and that's why I think it's a bit – you can't run from the record. And he obviously has learned as he's gone. I mean, he was new to the sport of football. This is not what he was familiar with. I think he's admitted as such. Mm-hmm. I still don't think he's a football guru. And 10 years later, we now have a situation where there's actually a guy who's been around football all his life, but still learning the NFL game, in Urban Meyer. Yeah. And that's been more of a transition than I really thought it would be. But it's an obvious transition. And so right now, it looks like every move that Shad Khan has made, it just doesn't work. Gus Bradley, Dave Caldwell, they were both new.
Yeah.
Didn't work. I think he actually was right on pulling the plug on Gene Smith quickly. I don't know about Malarkey. That was really fast. But Gene Smith it was, because there had been enough evidence that it wasn't going well.
Sure.
But then he goes to first-year guys who had done some good things and might continue to do good things in the profession, but made a lot of mistakes here in Jacksonville. Then he goes in the rewind machine, and he goes to Tom Coughlin to run everything. And it was it because he went to Tom Coughlin and that was kind of taking you back to yesteryear and we're on to a new age of the NFL and that didn't even pass Tom by? Or was it because he gave him full control of everything? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden things happened, like maybe the Yannick Ngakoue deal, that didn't happen, and he's playing somewhere else. Stuck with Caldwell through those years, still making draft selections. Stayed too long maybe with Doug Marrone. And now goes to Urban Meyer. And by the way, this is very much like the Gators situation with Billy Napier and Strickland, where it's like, I got my guy in mind, and I'm going to get my guy. And that's what this was for Urban Meyer. He's like, I got Urban Meyer in mind, and I'm going to get him. And by the way, I applauded that effort because if that's your guy, he went and got him. And there were a lot of people that tried to get Urban Meyer, and he went and got him. But right now, that's not looking like the best thing. It hasn't worked out really well in year one.
No.
So everything, it seems like it's just kind of like not worked out from a football perspective. So much so that it's got me thinking, okay, he's tried old, he's tried new, he's tried young, he's tried experience, he's tried a great college coach, he's tried the CEO, he's tried all these things. It's like, is it something in the building?
Well, and that's where if I was owner, I would be at right now. Because to me, the Urban Meyer hire, it was like the last-ditch effort. It was the Hail Mary. Because, and I always say this, to be successful, sometimes you got to think outside the box. I think the Urban Meyer hiring wasn't the safest pick, but it was the outside-the-box thing that you needed. It was the spark to get a fan base excited. And let's be honest, remember that? Remember those days?
Listen.
Remember all the excitement?
I can't run away from it. I thought it was a good hire.
Yeah, well, and I did as well. I'm not disagreeing here. I was excited because it was something different, and it was outside the box. But where I'm at now, like if I'm Shad Khan, I'll be honest, Brent. I don't know what to think now because what else can I do? Because I've literally done it every single way. And if I look at my clip right now, I think I'm out of bullets, man. Like I don't know what else I can put in and be like, okay, well, let's try. Maybe this isn't going to work out. Let's try this. What else can you do? You tried the motivation. Like you said, you tried the motivational guy. You tried the more reserved guy with Doug Marrone. You had Mike Mularkey. You've gone the outside the box college guy and Urban Meyer. You've literally tried everything. And not only did it not, well, so far with Urban Meyer to be determined, but everybody else, not only did it not work, it was a disaster. Set aside from 2017. I don't know. Like, if I'm Shad Khan or if I'm advising Shad Khan right now in the realms of football and this one doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to say to him. I have no idea.
You know, and so there's the football side. I want to ask you this. I want you to think about it. What's the biggest mistake of the Shad Khan era so far? Somebody asked me this recently, and we differed on it. So I want to get your thought on it. But what's the biggest mistake? The one that was like, why did he do that? Like I'll often say Gus Bradley's biggest mistake was hiring Jed Fish, right? It was 4 years there was mistakes, so a lot of different places, but that set the tone it was wrong decision in your offense. So what was the biggest mistake for Shad Khan? And while you think about that,
I got it.
I will say there's other things about Shad Khan's ownership that I actually think are very good. I think one, he wants to be in Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. And you could find a lot of different owners and sell this team, and they would pick it up and get out of Jacksonville. That is a real thing. He wants to make it in Jacksonville. He wants to make it work. And then you look at the stuff that he's tried to do around the city, things that he has done to the stadium with his own money. I think you look at that stadium on a game day, I think bringing Mark Lamping in has been very good. He's a smart man. He knows how to do this business. And, I mean, they have had their hands tied in that business office. So I think he has some really smart people. Not enough. From football side and probably even business side. I think they need more of them inside that building. And that's Shad Khan's job, is to get more of those inside that building and make the right calls, or somebody, or at least have somebody make the right decisions. But I think you look at the stadium. I think you look at what he spent on. I think you look at he's willing to spend in free agency when the time comes. He is not like a cheap owner. Keep in mind, the Weavers are unbelievable around here. I always think they should be on the Mount Rushmore of everything for bringing this team to Jacksonville. But they got Wayne Weaver, the story was, get pretty cheap down the stretch because obviously in his own mind he was looking to sell. Correct. And at that time, you're talking about a $700 million organization, not a $2 billion organization. And also a guy in Wayne Weaver who doesn't have the pockets of even Shad Khan. I mean, one of the richest men in the world. So I'm not saying he ran on the cheap all the time, but toward the end, things got a little tighter inside that building. And that might have been some of the reasons why things started to go to part a little bit in the later years of Wayne Weaver's ownership. Money's not a problem in this ownership. And I've never believed for a minute that people are like, well, he's lost all these games and he's 3 times the value. That's what he's all. I don't think he cares about that. Mm-hmm. You know, one thing about people with money, whether they show it or not, they also have an ego.
Of course.
We all do.
Yes.
And I would think right now that Shad Khan wants to win more than anything because
you would hope that's the case.
Hates it,
yes.
having this record attached to his name. Because the guy hasn't lost many battles in his life. He's lost some, just not as highly publicized as these. And he usually ends up on the winning side.
He hasn't lost as bad.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot from the city to the organization to the investments to where he wants to take the place, like where his vision and kind of like his heart is, if you will, is all good. But sooner or later, you got to get it done on the field. And they have just been miserable on the field outside of the 1 year. And like I said earlier, 1 out of 10 ain't getting it done. I mean, 1 out of 10 in any walk of life is not getting it done. So they have got to figure this out and figure it out soon. And I don't know if this doesn't work out. When you have Trevor Lawrence and you bring in Urban Meyer, I don't know what the answer is. But there have been many organizations that have gone through coaches and quarterbacks and coaches and quarterbacks and longer than this, by the way. I know people don't want to hear that, but longer than this.
Yeah. But, I mean, and listen, we're still a long ways away from talking about what type of quarterback Trevor Lawrence is going to end up being. But it just felt like the stars aligned perfectly, you know, for the Jaguars to finally make that turn and to be better, right? Like you got the vibe when the New York Jets won that game, and the Jaguars lose. It's like, okay, finally. Like the football gods are looking down on us and shining. Go ahead and tank these last couple games. James Robinson, you're going to sit out here. It's fine. Brent goes to the bar and celebrates with his co-host, and it's fine. You know, and now, truth be told, I wasn't the one that – and I want to go back to this.
I know.
I was never the guy that said you should tank because it's bad juju. It's bad vibes. I don't want to say I told you so, but I got some sage in here in case you want to burn some later.
I might need to.
You asked me – you know, probably the worst decision or like, I guess the worst moments that Shad Khan has been a part of so far in terms of, you know, his decision making. I get when you're a new owner and you start brand new, sometimes things don't go your way. Right. So like, I don't look at Malarkey. I don't even look at Gus Bradley. Like, okay, you took a risk, didn't work out. All right. You cut ties, you live, you learn, and you move on. But to go to an AFC championship game 1 year, and then the next year have it look like it did, that's not supposed to happen. Everybody has a window in the NFL. It's a league of parity. With salary caps in the draft, everybody's going to have their moment in the sun. But you're not supposed to have only one season to have that moment in the sun. It's supposed to be, you know, carried on through at least a couple of years. That wasn't the case here in Jacksonville. So as you analyze the problem, you ask, all right, 2017, you know, Miles Jack wasn't down, one play away from going to the Super Bowl. Where'd it go wrong from there, 2018? And to me, it was Tom Coughlin, it was Doug Marrone, and it was the chain of communication from Shad Khan and how that was all set up, right? And not everybody being on the same page. That, to me, has been Shad Khan's biggest mistake right now, because we saw Doug Marrone in those press conferences, not answering questions, looking down the hall saying, hey, I don't know. And then you saw Tom Coughlin kind of go rogue a little bit and do his own thing. And then eventually Grievance Gate was established from that, and it all went downhill from there. So if you're asking me what was the defining moment that really Shad Khan should have fixed right away and should have addressed, it was the communication between himself, between Tom Coughlin, between Doug Marrone, and that team.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up. That's a wild thing, and I didn't put it as broad as maybe as that. But if a lot of people, when they ask this question, people will say Dave Caldwell.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. People say Dave Caldwell. I don't. I and maybe they're right. I'm not saying they're wrong. Mm-hmm. But to your point, I say Tom Coughlin. And I don't mean Tom Coughlin's unbelievable. Should be a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. But here's why I say it. I say it because, you know, the first few years, if you lose as an owner, you're new to it and you tried something that didn't work, that's okay. Whatever. I view Shad Khan as a visionary guy. What he's trying to do with the city, what he's done in his businesses. And he hired Tom Coughlin, who was really at the end of his career, to try to go rekindle something from 20 years ago, essentially. And you could argue his best move was Tom Coughlin because they went to the championship game. But his worst move was also Tom Coughlin. Why? Because it created this atmosphere where you couldn't keep guys who you were playing this Sunday, like Jalen Ramsey, like Yannick Ngakoue. It also created an atmosphere where he was the czar, and he was the czar over decisions like Leonard Fournette. And again, you can put Dave Caldwell in this conversation. That's fine. But they brought, remember, the quote at the press conference was, we're bringing Tom Coughlin in. We still like Dave Caldwell. He's in his formative years. What does that mean? Well, we're bringing this guy in to make all the decisions and steer this guy in the right direction if he's making the decisions. So as many people want to put it on Caldwell, and they should, you should also put it on Coughlin because he had the veto power. He was the czar. And so he said, Fournette. Okay, again, I'm a big believer that Fournette helped you get to 17. That was a good move. You passed on Watson and Mahomes. Bad move. That's not a visionary look. That's not a down-the-road look. What else did you do? Gone Ramsey. Gone Ngakoue. Grievance gate. What else did you do? Well, you were the one that stamped Blake Bortles to a 2-year deal. Well, you were supposed to come in and say, no, I've seen this story before around the NFL. I've been in the NFL for 30 years. This guy's not going to cut it. We got to move on. They didn't. So that's where I think, where I envision Shad Khan as this visionary guy taking the franchise into the future. Even the London stuff was a little bit ahead of the rest of the league on doing that. By the way, the rest of the league wants the money over there. Shad Khan got some of that. And part of the franchise's economic makeup, if you will. But this visionary guy went back to the well with Tom Coughlin instead of getting to this, be ahead of the curve. And we are yet to see him be ahead of the curve in his football decision-making and his hires. And that has hurt this organization. And again, I don't want this to come across like, man, I hate Tom Coughlin. He's ruined the organization. I don't believe that. But I do believe the whole idea of it, the concept of it, the going back and the czar of everything football and just tell me how it's going instead of communication, to your point.
For sure.
Certainly hampered this organization. You went very few times do you have that kind of talent on the roster. And you could have been Buffalo. Instead, you stayed at the quarterback spot. And then you got rid of that talent blow by blow because of the atmosphere around here. And so I think it was that move that really set the organization back. Now, years down the road, it gets Trevor Lawrence. Does Trevor Lawrence save this organization eventually? That's a book that is yet to be written. But so far, the Urban Meyer hire is not a success.
Yeah.
And so that is one that keep your fingers crossed because it almost needs to be. Because if Urban Meyer's not a success at what they're paying him and how long he probably will stay, some 3-4 years at a minimum, well, then that means Trevor Lawrence isn't thriving if it doesn't work out. And that is going to be a major issue. And Urban Meyer will be the latest on a bunch of misplays on the football side of things for Shad Khan.
Yeah, it's just... It's so wild because, and I understand, right? When you talk about like, you know, the Jaguars aren't the only team to go through this, right? You have the Factory of Sadness in Cleveland. You have the Detroit Lions. I mean, yes, this happens to some teams, but I don't know if it's ever happened to the point where you have success in 2017 and go and call it a fluke if you want to, but that team was talented, okay, on offense and especially on defense. Like that team had talent. To back up the hype. They had talent to say, you know what, maybe it wasn't so much of a one-shot thing. Maybe it was just the fact that they played great football. Because then after that, then guys got hurt, guys left, whatever the case may be, okay? But it's not supposed to happen like that. And I'm not sure if in NFL history, if it's gotten to the point where you go to a championship game and then, I don't know, the next 5 years or whatever, the 4 years, it looks like this. Like that's, teams are going to struggle. Teams are going to be in the basement, yada, yada, yada. But eventually, when teams come out of the basement and they reach new heights and go to championships, you don't go back down to the basement right away. And that's where you are right now. And a lot of that, like we were talking about, has to be attributed to Tom Coughlin in terms of losing the locker room, losing the culture, and losing your players.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't think it's just Tom. I think it's Caldwell. I think it's Marone. I think it's the communication. You mentioned a big one. That communication, when for a couple years we had no idea who was really making the decisions. There were 5 people that could have been making the decisions. So you're right. And you know, when you go to that championship game, the teams that then take a step back usually are teams that have really loaded up on older players and are making one last run. Like
Rams,
if Tampa,
we'll see you later.
Or somebody like that goes down the elevator shaft, well, you get it, right? They were making a run. That's not what the makeup of that team was. And I still can't believe the one move Coughlin that I can't believe is that he stamped Bortles. See, I think Shad Khan hired Tom Coughlin to not stamp Bortles.
Yeah.
And they did it anyway. That's a move that Caldwell would have made. It's his guy, but he was supposed to veto that move.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't. And then we ended up here. But thankfully we have Trevor Lawrence, I think.
Now I'm depressed. Awesome. Great Exercise, Brent.
Well, listen, I think there are still positives to take away from the ownership of Shad Khan.
No, for sure.
And I think he means, I think eventually it will happen.
Yeah.
But eventually,
French toast sticks were
hasn't
fire
happened in 10
the
years.
Press box. They're good.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Clear skies as we head through this evening. Temperatures overnight dropped out into the mid to upper 30s. A light frost possible inland away from the river. Upper 30s to low 40s at the coast, but plenty of sunshine for Tuesday with highs in the upper 60s. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Beatonball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where now you can save up to 41% off during Beard's anniversary sale.
Whether you're a rock-solid hard athlete or a hardcore fan, in Little League, a pro, or a weekend warrior, Cora Physical Therapy is here to help you reach your goals. We're happy to announce that Cora is now open in Kingsland, on Boone and Haddock, and we're coming soon to Brunswick. With a total of 17 clinics in the Jacksonville region, there's sure to be one near your home or work. Call or come in today for a free screening. No physician's referral needed. CoraPhysicalTherapy.com, treating everyone right.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-343-8638. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-343-8638. 800-343-8638. 800-343-8638.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-333-1750. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-333-1750. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-333-1750. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-333-1750. 800-333-1750.
Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One with a preview of NFC action coming up from the nation's capital when the Washington football team takes on the Seattle Seahawks. Washington has won 2 straight, including an impressive win at the Panthers last week. Quarterback Taylor Heineke says the offense is growing more confident each game.
I feel like I've played better just by going out there and having fun, being myself, let the personality come out, and I think that kind of rubs off on some other guys. I know we just trust each other, and we trust the play call, and we just go out there and try and execute it. So it's been going well for the last 2 weeks.
For Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, they're looking to get back in the win column after back-to-back losses following Wilson's return from finger surgery. Join Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner and me for all the action on Monday Night Football.
Rich Eisen here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One with a preview of NFC action coming up with the Seahawks flying east to take on the Washington football team. Russell Wilson has struggled since returning from surgery on an injured finger, and the team has dropped 2 in a row. Head coach Pete Carroll says he's as surprised as anyone at their lack of ability to score.
Started when Russ got banged up, and then we just haven't got productive, like we need to be, and we got to get back on track. Maybe it's going to be a couple weeks for taking a month off for Russ to be at his best to help us, but we got to do stuff around him as well.
Taylor Heineke and Washington have won back-to-back games, including a surprise W last week over the Panthers. Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner will have the call of Seattle at Washington on Monday Night Football.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
O'Reilly. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What's up? It's Casey. After you listen to Action Sports Jax from 3 to 6 and OT from 6 to 6:30, you can listen to Monday Night Football as Russell Wilson and the Seahawks travel across the country to take on Taylor Heineke and the Washington football team. Coverage starts at 7:30 right here on ESPN 690.
We all did. We all thought it was a free play. I even heard over my headset free play, and then it turned out we covered up a tight end on the play. So, it's, you're down on the 1 yard line, have a chance to stop them, and we did stop them, and then we gave them a first down. So, yeah, that's what we thought.
And that is Urban Meyer talking about the Jags. I think that sequence, was that the sequence where they jumped off sides? They had pinned them pretty deep, and then they jumped off sides on the punt team. I said this today on Twitter because I don't think the Patriots are great from a roster standpoint. Do we all agree, they're an okay roster?
Agreed.
There's nothing, you could name 10 rosters that are probably better than them.
Agreed.
Sure.
But they're obviously one of the best teams in the NFL right now. In fact, they are the best team in the NFL right now over the last 6 weeks.
Okay.
No?
I mean, yeah, I think they're up there.
They've won 6 in a row, and they're just, as you would say, molly-whopping people.
Curb stomping, yep, for sure.
Who's better than them right now in terms of playing in the last 6 weeks? Not who you would pick.
Yes.
But, who's on a better – I mean, Tennessee was this way until the last 2 weeks.
What have the Chiefs been doing lately? Chiefs, right?
Chiefs are winning.
Yeah, okay.
They didn't play last
weeks.
week. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, Indy's been killing people, too.
Yeah, Indy and San Francisco look like they're on the rise. But, again, we're talking 6 weeks
No,
for this Patriots,
Yeah. Well, I told you, New England in the fall, they're a different team. When playoff seedings are on the line, they're just a different team.
So what I'm getting at really is they are obviously well coached.
Correct.
This is a comeback year for Belichick in that sense. Mm-hmm. They're getting great play out of some of their free agent signings like Hunter Henry and Matthew Judon.
Yes.
Some of their draft picks, Mac Jones, the running back, Barmore out of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So those are good acquisitions, draft, free agency. But what I think is their IQ as a football team is so good. And some of that is well coached, but they also get smart players. I really think Bill Belichick would rather have 5 smart players than super talented players.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'd rather work with this.
Now Gronk says what's up.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. I'm not saying he's smart, SAT smart.
Maybe he is, too. Maybe he's just.
But and by the way, you could argue that Gronk's smarter than all of us, right? And the way he's marketed himself and everything else.
Yeah, but can you get him off the commercials? The commercials are so bad. The whatever
commercials are bad.
The Navy, what is it? The Navy Credit Union, whatever.
Navy Federal, yeah. I almost feel like they make him
busted.
I'm almost giving him the credit that they're making him sound dumb.
Maybe, but if you're the director,
they wrote it stupid.
If you're the director of that though, don't you got to go? Hey, Rob, I know we only got you for a little bit. Can we get another take, though, please? Because that was going to be TV quality.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's tough.
So, is it – the bottom line is I think Gronk's an IQ guy, though. He knows where to go. He knows how to play the game. He knows he's got instinct. Not everybody has that. Like, I'm convinced in sports, like, you don't have that. Like, you either have it or you don't. You don't coach that, I don't think.
No. New England is different. And I think I've told this story before. I'll tell it again about Bill Belichick. Not going to name my former teammate's name because I don't want to put him on blast here, but former teammate of mine goes to New England as a free agent. Just he cleared waivers, signed with New England. First day, going up to meet Bill Belichick, he's walking through the hall of the practice facility, and there's pictures everywhere of guys. Obviously you went to how many Super Bowls, so there's pictures of guys hoisting the trophy. Bill Belichick comes out of the office, greets this guy, and says, first thing he says to the guy, points to a picture, says, "Who is that guy up there holding a Super Bowl trophy?" And this is an older picture. My former teammate goes, "I'll be honest, I don't know who that guy is." Bill Belichick goes absolutely ballistic. He says, "You have 24 hours to know all these guys on the wall. If you do not," and I'm obviously paraphrasing here, your blank and blank blank is going to be gone, and you will be cut that day. I'm going to quiz you tomorrow. If you don't get it, you're gone. This isn't football stuff we're talking about. This isn't X's and O's, know your job. This is the history of the organization. This is knowing who's come before you. That's the kind of ship that Bill Belichick runs. So if he's that adamant about the history of the New England Patriots, what do you think he's going to be like when the X's and O's, when you're not doing your job? If you do fumble a football, if you do make a mistake, how is he going to act then? Needless to say, this guy ended up getting the questions right, was on the team for a little bit.
Was he?
But he said he's never been so scared his entire life.
Yeah.
Literally, usually when you get to a stadium, "Hey, how you doing? Where you from? Nice to meet you. Glad to have you here."
Yeah, and you say, "Who's this guy on the wall?" And they tell you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Ty Law, it could be a hard one, but like, what other coach in the right mind is going to go, okay, so the nice to meet yous are over. Either you get this stuff down, or is gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, that's the introduction of Bill Belichick. That goes to show you just in terms of X's and O's, I think, and in terms of accountability, how much you have to be on the same page. I don't think you get that every other football team.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And by the way, that in a weird sense is kind of a college thing.
Yeah.
I want you to know the history of what's going on here.
Sure.
I want you to know that this game against Michigan matters more than anything else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is a little bit of that feel. Because when I look at Belichick, I don't really – so many people want to study Belichick. Mm-hmm. Urban Meyer studied Belichick and Carroll and other. I see Carroll as the guy who will do the +2 mentality stuff. I don't really see Belichick as that guy. Like, is he the rah-rah, pump you up with those kind of things and sayings and stuff on the wall? I don't see that. Maybe he does. Like, maybe he does these kind of videos and things like that because maybe all coaches do it to some degree.
I mean, it is,
Right? It's kind of a
You have to have some sense of motivation.
So this is not a criticism of Urban Meyer in that sense, but how do you create that culture? Well, anybody who walks in that building now knows the culture. We all know the culture. We know if we walked into the Patriots building, we'd probably stand up a little straighter.
Yeah.
Right?
For real.
And we'd probably know the people on the wall because we know what the Patriots now are all about. Mm-hmm. But how do you create that? Well, you got to win to help create it. And so there's this juxtaposition that goes together, really. Like, you have to win and create the culture. Yeah. So right now, is Urban Meyer creating a culture? No, because they're losing. Mm-hmm. He's not. Like, if he is a culture creator, which I think he has been, and you can argue he's very good at, but he's not doing a good job of it because you have to win while you do it.
But you made a great point, though, in terms of the IQ. That's who the Patriots are. I remember my junior year at Murray State. This is when the scouts first started getting a little wind of me and started coming visiting. Maybe like they come for practice, right? So they come watch on a Wednesday, a practice, and after that you meet with them in a room by yourself for like 20 minutes was the rule, and then you have to go. I met with maybe 10 scouts. Only one scout, who I was the biggest, whatever, but I get it now, made me go on the board and like type in, like, write up everything for my defense. I go, dude, I have a pad on my wrist that tells me the plays. You think I know what the safety is doing in this play? You think I know what the linebacker's doing in this play? No. I look at my wrist, it says, okay, I have this gap, and I'm good to go. But, like, they want to know all that stuff.
But that was the Patriots guy.
That was the Patriots guy.
Interesting.
And you know what? When I couldn't answer the questions, he was not thrilled about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's who they are.
Do you think it's coaching? Do you think it's culture? Or do you think it's the player that has the IQ? Like, that makes you a smart... do you need 7 players on the defense that's good at instinct?
No, so it's definitely the player, but it's the willingness to learn, though.
Yeah.
I think the Patriots, you have to have the high IQ guys, but you have to have the willingness to learn as well. Yeah. And that takes a special type of guy.
The one thing, by the way, that's really missed about the 2017 Jags defense, I'll say this all the time, those are high IQ guys that know the game, but also are super talented playing fast for the Jags.
Yeah.
They knew the game.
Yeah.
They might be made an extracurricular play, but they didn't make many out of place other than Jalen maybe freelancing at times because he wanted to make another play. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12. He will go down. He finds the promised land. Touchdown, FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
Outside the numbers to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. It's a touchdown, Florida State. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line. Noles win. Noles win.
Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long, right here on your home for Florida State football.
Sponsored by Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoked for hours. Served in minutes.
My name's Ashley Booth Norris. I am an emergency medicine physician. So COVID doesn't discriminate. Again, it affects people of every age, every race. It doesn't care how old you are. It doesn't care who you are. It's affecting everyone. And so it's important for you to get vaccinated to protect yourself, those that you love, as well as everyone around you. We're racing against the clock here before the next variant comes around.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Hospital Association, the Florida Medical Association, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
For the ones who get going when the going gets tough. And the ones who know we're tougher together. For the pathfinders breaking new ground. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as fast access to experts and 24/7 customer support. Because we know you have people depending on you. So you can always depend on us. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-343-8638. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-343-8638. 800-343-8638. 800-343-8638.
I'm Marcus Roberts, and I've been blind since I was 5 years old. I'm a jazz pianist and composer, and I've been fortunate to perform all over the world for more than 30 years. I am also a proud graduate of the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind. While there, I had great teachers who specialized in working with blind and visually impaired students. FSDB provided me with many of the essential skills I needed to succeed. The school is a state public school available at no cost to eligible K-12 Florida students who are deaf, blind, or both. FSDB helps students to do more, be more, and achieve more. It prepares them for a lifetime of success. For more information, call 800-342-3732 or visit www.fsdbk12.org.
On average, an artificial limb for a child starts at $5,000, and the first prosthetic for an adult can cost up to $50,000, making it nearly impossible for disabled children or veterans to afford the limb they need. At Life Giving Limbs, we cover the cost of these prosthetics, giving recipients a chance at receiving a new limb and a new start on life. Please help by donating now. Visit lifegivinglimbs.com or call 469-601-8523.
For most, the holiday season is filled with family and fond memories. But for area foster kids, it can be one of the most difficult times of the year. While you can't change that, you can help create new holiday memories by donating a gift they've been dreaming about. Simply contact Jewish Family and Community Services, choose a wish list, then shop, or donate online. Add some joy to a child's holiday by visiting jfcsjax.org. That's jfcsjax.org.
Hey, sports fans, are you ready to get in on a piece of the action? The only thing better than your football team winning is when you have some skin in the game.
This is Ultimate Vegas Insider John Anthony, and if you're looking to cash in on tonight's big game, Seattle, Washington, I've got you covered. Documented 73% against the spread.
Call 1-800-244-5506 for my absolutely free side and total on the recorded message line. That's 1-800-244-5506. What are you waiting for? Get off the sideline. Call 1-800-244-5506 now.
Seattle, Washington, side and total, free on the recorded message line.
Every touchdown and victory dance just got that much sweeter. But before you get in on the action, call 1-800-244-5506 or go to VegasScoresAndOdds.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
Join ESPN 690 on March 5th for the Gate River Run. Registration for the 15K, 5K for charity, Junior River Run, and the Brooks Rehabilitation Mile Challenge is now open at GateRiverRun.com. Training information is available on the website. See you at the starting line.
I just, James is a grown man, and I just just talked to him about locking the elbow and clamping that's our terminology that we use to lock the ball down. And then he came back and ran, had some decent runs in the second half. He still doesn't look like he's full speed to me. But, that was just the conversation with him.
Urban Meyer and James Robinson. Here's the deal. James Robinson does not have a fumbling problem. This is not a problem.
No.
He fumbled once in like 400 carries. He's fumbled twice in 2 years. Like that happens in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I disagree with Urban. I thought he did look more himself yesterday. Mm-hmm. I thought he did show some, I don't know about explosiveness.
The one catch that he had, though?
The catch and then the tiptoe down the sideline for 26.
Looked pretty explosive.
I thought he got the edge better than he did like 2 weeks ago. San Francisco, I thought he did look like he was kind of plodding along a little bit. Mm-hmm. We know Indianapolis, he came back and he was trying to find himself and he looked better in the second half. I thought yesterday he looked as healthy as he's looked in 6 weeks. 5 weeks. And so I disagree with her. Now, again, they know what that looks like better than me, but I disagree with that assessment. I mean, I thought he was hitting the holes. I thought he was pulling people with him. I thought he was running over some people, running around some people. Mm-hmm. I thought he hit the hole hard again. I mean, so I saw some of that explosiveness. I didn't see what they see there.
No, I did as well. I thought, James Robinson made some big steps, in terms of explosiveness. And like I said, that catch, really, I think displayed that. I understand that the goal of this season from now on is to try to get Trevor Lawrence some confidence and to build that up. So, we're happy going into the offseason. But I think a 1B, a very close second place, has to be just make James Robinson happy, please. I mean, honestly, I can't stress this enough. This will eventually be Trevor Lawrence's team. This will be, he will be the captain of the ship. No doubt about it. But right now, your best player on offense and quite possibly the best player that's been playing well all season is James Robinson. And I can't stress it enough. I hope that you keep that guy happy.
Yeah, on top, I thought about that last night. I think it was. I think James Robinson and Trevor Lawrence, the communication with those guys is important. Mm-hmm. Because right now, I see two unhappy guys. Mm-hmm. And I see all the stuff around them. And I thought about this. This is bad. I was really negative yesterday in my mind. But I thought, if you're James Robinson's agent, could you seriously say, hey, don't sign me to a long-term deal? In fact, if you can trade me, it'd be better. Doesn't seem like these guys want me around here. And you drafted ETN, and I might even be used less. Now, could you see that happening? I'm not saying he's going to, especially they're going to be willing to throw some money at him, I would think. But the other one I thought of, Austin, is looking at Trevor Lawrence and what's going on around him and looking at his face sometimes now these last couple of weeks. And I think some of it's his disappointment in himself at times, but not all of it. I see a frustrated young quarterback. I see someone who does not trust everything around him, and I'm starting to think, like, I hope his agent's not on the phone like, hey, you guys better figure this out, or we're not playing football next year here.
No, I mean,
listen, we live in a world where you can ask for a trade any day of the week.
I know. I don't think
I'm not predicting that's going to happen. I'm just saying it crossed my mind.
No, for sure.
He looks that frustrated out there on the field.
He does. Watching the film version when Agumbawale dropped that ball, yeah, it was written all over his face. And this is a guy, and you said it before, this is a guy who is not accustomed to losing, number one, but I don't think he's not accustomed to not having what he needs at his disposal, right? I mean, he had weapons nonstop at Clemson, and now you come to Jacksonville, and yeah, injuries are a thing, injuries happen, but man, it's just, you get this sense right now, and I'm kind of repeating what I said earlier on the show today, but you get this sense that whether it's Bevel calling the shots, Schottenheimer, whatever the case may be, these guys on offense, they are not being set up for success right now.
Yeah, they are not, and I think he's feeling that. Like, I think if you look at Trevor Lawrence the first 10 weeks, he was like, hey, listen, hey, it's coming. We're getting it. We're going to fix it.
You have to put faith in your coach, where it's like, okay, I'm going to trust that you know what we're doing. And listen, I'm a rookie quarterback here. I'll put my faith in you. We'll get it done. We'll improve.
I'm making mistakes. Yeah. They're making mistakes, but we're going to get it. We still have 9 games to go,
Where's
right?
it got you?
Now the last couple weeks, he was very frustrated, and it kind of stung him, as in their words, when he didn't get the job done in Indianapolis. But yesterday was, I might not have got my job done. I felt it was a little more like, hey, is this stuff ever going to get fixed? Like, are we going to ever run the right routes to the landmarks that we said in practice? Are we going to block in the key spots? Are we going to catch? Now, he did get some help on some nice catches by James Robinson and Marvin Jones. Are our coaches going to call the right plays? Why is it taking this long to figure out the offense and what we want to be? We're in December almost.
And don't forget about the quarterback sneak thing too, where he kind of said one thing and then Urban Meyer says another thing.
Yeah, and I sensed a little bit of, I mean, I can only cover up so much, and I'm only going to, I really would like to call people out here, but I can't. That's what I sensed yesterday. That's part of the quarterback's job. I mean, Blake Bortles did that for 4 years, or 5 years. That's part of the QB's job, and I'm not, listen, he's not in the tank. He's not done. He'll have his ups and downs. I just felt like we're really seeing a frustrated Trevor Lawrence. The losses are piling up. The lack of touchdowns, lack of production, lack of growth. I think he sees it. He knows it. He knows what good is. He knows this isn't good. And again, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking all the blame out of him. I think he has played inconsistent, and his accuracy has been inconsistent. But, man, it's hard to find too many players outside of James Robinson and a couple of plays here or there, like Marvin Jones' catch, that have really helped him elevate his game, too. And I think that goes for the coaches.
Yeah.
So that's frustrating.
Yeah.
And he's too mature, and he knows how it works. He's not going to say that.
No, I mean, you can't. You're in no position as a rookie quarterback to call out your coaches. You can't call out your teammates. You just got to swallow it, and you got to move on. But, no, it's definitely, I mean, especially the penalties, too, when you see the response to the penalties, like the false starts and all that. Yeah, I mean, but who wouldn't be frustrated?
And that's what the sense of his frustration to me is like, listen, I'm getting us lined up. Or get the play in and get in here, the right package, not 7 seconds left on the play clock.
Yeah.
I don't think that's him as much as it is everything else around him. Maybe it is him, though. You just don't know. That's the problem.
Yeah. I don't want to make excuses for Trevor Lawrence because, like you said, he has to share a lot of the blame as well. But, like, watching that game yesterday and really the past 2 games now, I keep going back to J.J. Watt when he goes to Deshaun Watson after their season. He goes, hey, man, we wasted your year, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we're getting to.
We're getting
and
close
that's
to that.
Not a good feeling to have.
We're getting really close to that. That's a good point. I'm glad you bring that back up, but we're close to that.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for a Monday. Coming up next, got Casey Kurtz and Brian Middleton, Action Sports Jax. Overtime, 6 to 6:30, and then all the way until 7 on the social media platforms. And then 7:30 tonight, it's the Seahawks and the football team playing on ESPN 690. We'll have Jags Report Live coming up at Sneakers in Jax Beach. James Robinson will be there. I'll take it easy on him, I think. Maybe not. 7 o'clock on Fox 30 as well, Jags Report Live. Have a good night, everybody. I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Mortno. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts. Jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Hey, boss, did you notice the holiday decorations on your street?
Oh, yeah, it's getting to be that time of year again.
Yeah, makes me so happy I want to sing.
Uh-oh, I smell a song coming on.
It's beginning to look a lot like Crooksmas.
Nice. Packages near every door.
But the prettiest sight to me...
no safe touch signs, you see.
Do-it-yourself alarms we like much more.
A pair of houses in a row.
Do they have safe touch?
No.
So crooks like us use Crash and Smash
to get inside and take the cash.
It's beginning to look a lot like Crooksmas.
DIY alarms we love for sure.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jax, and I have more brand new local coverage to tell you about. Every Monday and Thursday after Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 from 3 to 6, we're giving you more of what you want. More Action Sports Jax. From 6 to 6:30, myself, Casey Kurtz, and Brian Middleton will bring you Action Sports Jax Overtime. There's a lot of topics in sports, and sometimes we can't hit them all from 3 to 6. We'll hit them all on OT. So join us 6 to 6:30 every Monday and Thursday night right here on ESPN 690.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com.
I'm Kevin Oates. Baseball can be facing a lockout a little more than 50 hours from now. Sorry, Jerry. One of the issues is the new collective bargaining agreement has expanded playoffs, according to ESPN's Jesse Rogers. The current proposal is for 4 teams to expand the playoffs, 7 from each league. The top seed would get a bye. The next 2 division winners would each get to pick who they want to face as wild card teams. The top seed in the wild card round would host all 3 wild card games. Jesse Rogers has the full details on his Twitter account. Now, in terms of getting some business done before the CBA expires and a lockout could ensue, shortstop Corey Seager and the Texas Rangers agree on a 10-year, $325 million deal. That's more than $30 million per year. Seager won a title with the Dodgers in 2020. AL Cy Young Award winner Robbie Ray and the Mariners are finalizing a 5-year, $115 million deal. Opt out after year 3. Max Scherzer getting 3 years at $130 million from the Mets, $43 million on the AAV. Monday Night Football tonight. Coverage underway on ESPN. It's in D.C. Seattle and the football team.
Coming up Tuesday, we're reacting to Monday Night Football as two teams try to keep their playoff hopes alive. Plus, are we reaching the beginning of the end for Russell Wilson in Seattle? Tuesday morning, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio.
Here we go, 30 more minutes. ESPN 690, Action Sports Jax overtime. Brian Middleton, Casey Kurtz. A lot happened this weekend if you didn't catch up on that. Brent tore the Jags apart for 3 hours, only half kidding. But you've broke his spirit, so thanks, Jacksonville. He's a broken man now, but he's on his way to do TV. You can catch that at 7 o'clock on Fox 30. We've got Monday Night Football on here as well. We're going to talk the new head coaches in college football. We're going to do a lot of things, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk volleyball. By the way, Brian Middleton, I've told you this, but by the way, Brian Middleton, how are you?
I can't complain.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it. By the way, I was a problem in volleyball in middle school.
Knock it off.
Oh, dude.
Knock it off. You absolutely weren't a problem in 6th grade.
I didn't say 6th grade. I said middle school in general. So,
Okay.
I kind of blossomed in 7th grade and then 8th grade. But no high school volleyball until, homecoming week. But let me tell you something. I was a problem out there.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, there's no video. And if there was, we don't have a way to play it. But anyway, that's enough about my volleyball career. UNF volleyball was really good this year. And a reason for that was their head coach who's been building this program pretty much from the ground up. They were not great when she got here in 2018, but they are now very good. Kristen Wright joins us right now on ESPN 690. Coach, how are you? We appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm doing well.
I'm glad to hear it. So I just want to start there with this program. When you came in 2018, the wins were not a lot of them, let's just say. And since you've been here, it's been a steady climb, but you guys are, I can't say atop the ASUN, although you're very, very close. How has it been build-wise for you so far since you took over at UNF?
Yeah, I think it's a process just like anything. And the first thing is just getting that collective buy-in and getting past that resistance of, okay, what is she doing? What is she trying to accomplish? Getting the right people in the right places and understanding what we're trying to do here. And I really think we're at a point where the culture's set, the foundation is laid, and we're starting to see a lot of the fruit of the early years, recruiting and whatnot, start to pay off.
Absolutely. For those that may not know, volleyball recruiting, what does that look like? I think most people think of how football and other programs do or sports do it, but volleyball in general, is that an easy thing to do, a tough thing? Do you travel outside of the at least right immediate area? How do you do that?
Yeah, I mean, we're really looking at people, I mean, pre-COVID all over the world, honestly. I mean, the best way to get better faster is to bring in, people that are like-minded and have the culture that you want and want to play for you and be at your school, want to get the education that UNF provides, but also have the talent to raise the bar and the level in the gym. And to do that, you, A, have to know the type of kids that you're looking at. B, you've got to be present and available. And C, it takes time to get to know people and for them to get to know you. And I think our staff, my staff and I, we've done a really nice job of that. And one thing that's maybe different than other sports is volleyball is a very early committal sport, especially at Division I. And before a few changes in legislation, we were committing kids out in 2019 that just landed in their freshman class this year.
Wow.
So very, very early, and making those determinations whether they can impact your program really, really early. Like we had to really, really decide what we're looking for early on, and a lot has changed, especially with the transfer portal, the way that it is. It's changing a lot. The recruiting landscape is a big factor in improvement.
Hey, Coach, Brian Middleton here. Glad you could join us. Got another question about just the team as a whole. 24 wins, is, I believe that's a record for the D1 program history for the Ospreys. Got invited to the National Invitational Volleyball Championship, and I know that it said that you guys stated that as a goal that you wanted to be playing in December, but I believe that's a first in the program history as well. What has made this team basically be so historic this season? What would you say actually came together this season?
Yeah, I honestly, I want to credit the whole year. So you look at these kids, all these kids, even outside of my team that went through this pandemic in college sports. I feel like our program in general, I feel like we made a lot of our opportunities with the pandemic. The NCAA allowed us to work over summer via Zoom. We did anything and everything to prepare and cover that gap in time, stay bonded. We had girls from Austria, Italy, all over the world, and we were able to still stay committed to sport, stay committed to each other, and just kind of stay locked in, which helped us kind of pull through to get us back into playing in spring, which we all know this last spring, these girls in Division I volleyball played back-to-back seasons. So a couple things come to mind. Our jump from second year to third year was probably even a bigger jump than the spring of this last year to this year. The spring of this last year, we had one of the most tough schedules I've ever put out there. We only had 20 matches, but in terms of who we were playing, it was quite impressive. We made jumps in our league. We defeated Florida Gulf Coast twice. We split with them. I saw just a lot of individual improvement, belief, and that kind of trickled into this year. I think another thing that really helped us was we really took advantage of the transfer portal. Two key pieces that have changed our culture and just the maturity, experience, and of course talent. Where Bree Walp was one of our big recruits that came in from another school, just looking for, a new culture. And Dariana Hollingsworth-Santana, who came from the SECs, was a 4-year starter, has gone to the NCAA tournament, was a Sweet 16 player. So to have that type of experience on your court, coupled with those seniors that I have on this team, with their maturity and them being the ones that have pioneered this build, I think it speaks volumes to the leadership of our team.
Absolutely. And Coach, I'm glad you brought that up because I want to ask you about the transfer portal in volleyball. And I think, again, it's easy to think about football and basketball, the major short sports that we see all the shifting of players and whatnot. But is the volleyball transfer portal as busy as, say, the football transfer portal? And is that a major factor on how you mentioned that it is, but how in the upcoming years will it be a major factor in how you build your team?
Well, it's not going away, right? So we coaches have had to adapt, and it's an easier way for kids to come and go, but it's also an easier way for us to find people as collegiate coaches. And so the adaptation to, the here and the now with the recruiting landscape is really important. And we, of course, I will say, we of course really promote commitment and sticking through and that grit to persevere what you originally committed to. But we also know that it doesn't always work out in certain places, whether it be circumstances or whatnot. And so to answer your question, yes, it's huge right now. If I were to have it my way, I think the most important thing is staying committed because we're about teaching life skills too, and if you can, you're going to learn a lot about yourself if you can finish what you start and think through in the recruiting process what it takes to finish and get that degree, but also, help that program and leave it better than when you found it.
All right, Coach. I got a question. You have a big-time game a little bit later on this week against UNC Greensboro. Can you talk about some of the challenges that your team will potentially face when you guys go up against this opponent later on this week?
Yeah, so the first thing is always just preparation. I mean, we really are focused on us doing us. Like, we want to focus on our side of the net, and really that's all you can control anyway. So we've been really focusing on the areas that we took from the ASUN tournament and trying to grow that, looking at lineups and whatnot, matchups and whatnot. The big thing is just looking at their systems, what our offensive system looks like against their defensive systems. Is there any matchups we want to exploit? I think that, they're a solid team. They wouldn't be in this tournament, but I really like the way that we've been playing this weekend in the gym. And I think the most important thing is that we're having fun. We're excited to be on a national platform. Like anybody, travel presents its own set of issues with finals just around the corner. So managing all that, being aware of what our student athletes need to be at their best, but also just helping them to stay focused and engaged and be present in this short little window of time they have left this season.
Absolutely. Coach Kristen Wright from UNF Volleyball with us right now. Brian Middleton, Casey Kurtz, ESPN 690. Coach, this is interesting to me, but it might be a normal thing in the volleyball world. You coach indoor and beach for UNF. Is that correct?
I used to. Actually, most recently, we really sat down as an administration and as a coaching staff, and I came out off the beach. I've been coaching there. I've been the director of volleyball, managing 2 sports for the last 4 years. And so just recently, Nick Morrow, under his headship, we had heart-to-heart, and we decided we really decided that it would be best for both programs, for each program to have its own head coach, fully devoted year-round. And I can't thank him enough for just kind of listening to my thoughts. And this is coming off a championship year with unbelievable group returning and an unbelievable group that I recruited coming in. But I really want to focus and take UNF volleyball to another level. And oddly enough, and funny enough, and definitely support this, my husband, Doug Wright, who's been with me 4 years building beach, was just recently named the head coach.
Wow, that is awesome. That is really cool. I was going to ask you, and I guess I still will, the challenges about recruiting for 2 different teams, but that's got to be, you sound relieved when you say you didn't have to do it anymore.
Well, I think it's more just think about it. I'm one person, so my time is divided. And when beach volleyball was originally started, it was started as a Title IX sport that would help in that capacity to provide opportunities for female in one of the fastest growing sports in the nation's history. And it's a low cost sport too, so it really went well with volleyball. And the original thought was, okay, so it's low cost, the indoor players, some of them can go over and play beach, get in the sun, this, that, and the other. But the game has really evolved where beach volleyball is, the juniors league is blowing up, and the beach volleyball players are just stinking good. And you can't really, at this day and age, at this level, put your feet in 2 different sports, where there's a few that can. And we will have combination players, but recruiting, my time is divided too. So if you're talking about how to grow 2 programs to get them at the level that we want to be at, indoor hasn't won an ASUN championship yet. And I think a lot of that has to do with that divided time and resources. Now that that's unlocked, and look what we've already been doing. And this year is the first year I wasn't at beach practice. I was fully devoted to my staff and my players and really able to analyze and put my full energy into indoor. I think a lot of this year, can't say all, but a lot of this year has a lot to do with just someone fully being present at all times. And I think the beach team is going to blossom as well in terms of recruiting and whatnot. Now, that's not to say I didn't work really hard with both my staffs. I had 2 separate staffs, and we've recruited in. That's how we've built this thing, is we've worked really, really hard in the recruiting realm, and did the best of our ability with our time and resources to bring in the best and brightest to UNF.
Absolutely. Coach, I'm going to get you out of here after this, but you guys have a tournament this weekend, obviously, so the immediate goal is to win that and perform as best as you can, but you guys had an historic season. You guys are obviously on the rise. What is next? What's the next step for this program looking towards next year?
Yeah, I mean, this was the next step. Our team, our current team, have earned the right to be on a national stage, and it is an invite only, and they deserve it. And then feeling what that feels like to play in December with finals, and even our staff just kind of shuffling around supporting them. It's a new territory for women's volleyball. So that becoming the norm, the willing that to happen, and hopefully it's the NCAA. I know our heart was set on, seeing our names be called in that NCAA selection show last night. And I believe with every inch of me that's going to happen one day, but in due time. I think the next step is there's some teams that are ahead of us, and we've beaten everybody in the A-Sun, and the A-Sun only sends one team right now. There's no at-larges really going in due to the RPI discrepancy in our conference. So it's a little bit more difficult in our conference because you need to win that A-Sun tournament. So I think right now it's just for us is to be consistent, to figure out. We definitely have the pieces there. Is just figuring out how those pieces can operate consistently in those bigger games, in those bigger matchups. And so that's where spring comes in, that development of mind and body and physicality, and to develop that execution at a higher level, because really that margin for error to winning those championships is small. So it's going to come down to those details. And we have it, and we're bringing 4 All-Americans, in a class of 5 coming in next year. And so it's going to make our gym better. And we're excited about this process. We really are.
Absolutely. And if you're a fan, you should be excited, because I believe everything that you're saying, that you will continue the growth of this program, because you have proven to have done that, Coach. We really appreciate your time tonight. Best of luck this weekend. Best of luck in the future, and have a great winter. All right. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
That was UNF head volleyball coach Kristen Wright. And they are good, man. Like, I watched some games on ESPN Plus after I subscribed to ESPN Plus, so that was cool. But it's cool for UNF, I think, if you're an alumni like myself. And it's easy to forget, like, it's not just basketball at UNF.
That's true.
Yeah.
Casey, you know what I liked most about that interview?
What'd you got?
Coach Wright said, we already beat everybody in the
Yeah,
A-Sun.
she did.
Talk that talk, Coach Wright.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I like to hear around here.
Yeah, she don't play. And no, they are really on the up and up for sure in A-Sun volleyball and national volleyball as well. So good luck to them this weekend. As we mentioned, there will be a tournament. We'll give you some more information about that as the week goes on and how you can watch it. We got a lot more to do here on Action Sports Jax Overtime. I have something on my mind that has to do with Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
I apparently no longer have a college football team.
Free agent lifestyle.
Yeah, free agent. It's nice. I could be recruited, like Coach was talking about the recruiting. We got some vague headlines as well. We also have some new bump music, so this is pretty cool. So I'm liking that. So anyway, we'll do all that on the other side. We'll be right back. ESPN 690 Action Sports Jax Overtime. This is Action Sports Jax.
I think I'm getting closer and closer to doing the anatomy of the screenplay. I mean, what the hell? I mean, why can't we run a screen in Jacksonville for 14 years since I've been here? 14 freaking years we can't run a screenplay. And then on defense, we can't stop the damn thing. They can't stop a screenplay. We can't run a screenplay. What is going on in Jacksonville? I mean, it's unbelievable. They run screenplays in high school.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Clear skies as we head through this evening. Temperatures overnight dropped down into the mid to upper 30s. A light frost possible inland away from the river. Upper 30s to low 40s at the coast, but plenty of sunshine for Tuesday with highs in the upper 60s. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Biedenball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. where now you can save up to 41% off during Beard's anniversary sale.
Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialists on Merrill Road, where you get the work done right the first time by the experts. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. Our techs can service all makes and models, and we provide a nationwide warranty, so you have the peace of mind knowing we solve your transmission troubles fairly and honestly and guaranteed nationwide. Call us at Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road, where quality counts. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Jeeps, Chevys, Fords, Hondas, Toyotas, and more. Toyotathon is on, including all makes and models at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Arlington's got 300 used available. Plus, you'll buy with total confidence thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange program that comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Toyotathon is on, even on used at Arlington Toyota. Shop in person, 10939 Atlanta Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for full details.
Hey, sports fans, are you ready to get in on a piece of the action? The only thing better than your football team winning is when you have some skin in the game.
This is Ultimate Vegas insider John Anthony, and if you're looking to cash in on tonight's big game, Seattle, Washington, I've got you covered. Documented 73% against the spread.
Call 1-800-244-5506 for my absolutely free side and total on the recorded message line. That's 1-800-244-5506. What are you waiting for? Get off the sideline. Call 1-800-244-5506 now.
Seattle, Washington, side and total, free on the recorded message line.
Every touchdown and victory dance just got that much sweeter. But before you get in on the action, call 1-800-244-5506 or go to VegasScoresAndOdds.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
Which brings me to the name that you've probably heard connected to the Florida Gators. And that would be Billy Napier. When I tell you, Brian Middleton, my recruitment will be open if they hire this man as the head coach of the Florida Gators. Oh, boy. I don't have much to say for myself other than I'm a man of my word.
That portal information for you. You can check with Lincoln Riley and Spencer Rattler.
Hey.
So they can get you some information about how to do that.
I might be following Lincoln Riley to USC. I don't know. I like Lincoln Riley. I like what he did. I like the decision he made. But I'm not an Oklahoma fan, so Boomer Sooner, whatever. Y'all need a coach. Yeah, so this is Action Sports Jax Overtime, by the way. I'm Casey Kurtz. That was my sound you heard of saying I'd be a free agent if the Gators hired Billy Napier as their head football coach. Brian Middleton is the one who played that sound, and he is going to be the person that keeps me on track to make sure that I no longer support the Florida Gators. So here's the deal. I've received some tweets about what team I should be a fan of. Most of them are Florida State. But I'm open for recruitment. Please tweet me your favorite team at K Kurtz, and I'll be happy to consider becoming a fan of that team because this was not a good hire. I don't like it, and I guess we're going to see. Only time will tell, but I'm not feeling very good about it. Brian Middleton, your thoughts on either Lincoln Riley, Billy Napier, or just any of the college coaching madness that's going on? LSU still does not have a coach.
Well, listen, we could talk Lincoln Riley another time, maybe later on in the show, but I just want to know, step by step, give me 3 overall steps. What are you looking for in your new team?
So here's the thing. I'm a Jags fan, right? I'm also a Rays fan. And I know what you're thinking, like that's a popular thing now to be a Rays fan because they're good. I was a Rays fan when they won like 40 games and lost 120, okay? So here's the thing. I don't need to be a fan of like Alabama. That's what I'm getting at. Like I've just been a loser pretty much my whole entire life. Okay. Yeah, well, supporting losing teams. And the Gators were horrible for a long time too. So, I don't need to become a fan of like Alabama, Ohio State. Ohio State's probably off the table also, by the way. But so I'm open to really anything, obviously. And this is mostly just football. I'm pretty loyal to UNF and all the other sports, especially volleyball. So it's mostly a football thing. What is happening?
We're coming up on a break.
Oh, we are. Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, that's what you're hearing.
I literally thought it was like Jingle Bells.
Yeah, it is. Christmas. Hey, I'm festive.
Wow. Interesting. So anyway, yeah, I'm open for recruitment. Please let me know. USC is in the cards because I like Lincoln Riley. Couple of schools that are out, by the way. I'm not in on Miami, so that's going to be a no.
Starting to sound like a hater.
Yeah, Texas is also going to be a no. Georgia's going to be a no as well.
Well, what you want? You name teams that aren't good. You name teams that are mediocre. You name the team that's the best in the nation right now. They beat the brakes off of y'all right here, 10 miles up the street.
Yeah, but I don't
downtown
like
off the
Georgia.
St. Johns River. What do you want, man?
Somebody that's like decent, that like has a chance, but's probably going to disappoint you. That's kind of what I like. Oregon, Utah. I don't know. Houston, not
Arizona
UCF.
State?
Also not on Arizona State's fine. UCF is also a hard no. So anyway, that's the situation with that. Please tweet me at KKurtz. Let me know who I should be a fan of because I'm done with the Florida Gators on the football field. We'll be back. Vague headlines. I still got to rant about something, and I'm going to. But we're going to do it on the other side. We'll be right back.
Just be in control. With free interest checking and great digital tools, Community First makes smarter banking simple. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA.
Men suffering from ED or PE? Has Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center is featuring Restore Wave, the latest in non-invasive ED treatment. You'll see results on your first visit or pay nothing. Call 904-618-3497. That's 904-618-3497.
The thing about comparing rates at Progressive.com is that by now you've heard a lot of ads about comparing rates at Progressive.com. We probably don't even need the words comparing rates anymore to remind you that seasoning steaks at Progressive.com is an easy way to save on car insurance, or that swimming in trousers helps you find the lowest rate. And that's the thing about foraging for truffles. You've heard a lot of ads about standing tiptoe on a cinder block. Compare rates and sing softly to a wounded field mouse and save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials, a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized Cash Rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to let the good times roll. And by roll, I mean roll on home in a brand new Toyota, because Toyotathon is on at Arlington Toyota. Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma. Arlington Toyota has 300 new Toyotas available. And with Arlington's 30-day exchange program and lifetime warranty with every new purchase, buying your new Toyota's more fun than ever. Toyotathon is on at Arlington, 10939 Atlanta Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for full details.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7. And we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One with a preview of NFC action coming up from the nation's capital when the Washington football team takes on the Seattle Seahawks. Washington has won 2 straight, including an impressive win at the Panthers last week. Quarterback Taylor Heineke says the offense is growing more confident each game.
I feel like I've played better just by going out there and having fun, being myself, let the personality come out, and I think that kind of rubs off on some other guys. I know we just trust each other, and we trust the play call, and we just go out there and try and execute it. So it's been going well for the last 2 weeks.
For Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, they're looking to get back in the win column after back-to-back losses following Wilson's return from finger surgery. Join Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner and me for all the action on Monday Night Football.
Rich Eisen here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One with a preview of NFC action coming up with the Seahawks flying east to take on the Washington football team. Russell Wilson has struggled since returning from surgery on an injured finger, and the team has dropped 2 in a row. Head coach Pete Carroll says he's as surprised as anyone at their lack of ability to score.
It started when Russ got banged up, and then we just haven't got productive, like we need to be, and we've got to get back on track. Maybe it's going to be a couple weeks for taking a month off for Russ to be at his best to help us, but we got to do stuff around him as well.
Taylor Heineke and Washington have won back-to-back games, including a surprise W last week over the Panthers. Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner will have the call of Seattle at Washington on Monday Night Football.
For the ones who get going when the going gets tough, and the ones who know we're tougher together. For the Pathfinders breaking new ground, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as fast access to experts and 24/7 customer support. Because we know you have people depending on you, so you can always depend on us. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Action Sports Jax Overtime. Brian Middleton, Casey Kurtz. Been a good show so far. We did 3 hours before, obviously, Action Sports Jax, the regular show, which I call it now because we have overtime. We did that from 3 to 6. Austin Lane, Brent Martineau tore the Jags apart, as they should have been after whatever happened on the just in general bad against the Falcons. When you lose to the Falcons, it's not good. So there is that. But we did that from 3 to 6. We also talked about the college coaching hires, some baseball madness. Everyone's trying to get those deals done before the work stoppage on Thursday or Wednesday. Wednesday it would be, because there's going to be a lockout with baseball coming on Wednesday. So you got to get those deals done when you can. We got a little more time here. I got something on my mind I'm going to tell you about. We've also got vague headlines, which is turning into a thing. Brian Middleton, how'd you come up with vague headlines, by the way?
I was laying down, and, the epiphany hit me. And I was just like, hey, you know what? We're going to throw it at the wall, throw the spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks.
Okay.
And so far, 3 weeks in, it's sticking.
Yes, it is sticking. I like it. It's like my new favorite thing I'm looking forward to. I was literally sitting around yesterday like, man, can't wait for that. So, there will be a Twitter poll, by the way.
Is that how you said it?
Yeah.
With that low of energy?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of energy in general.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with you today, man. You need to get that checked out. I got some iron supplements I take if you want some of that, because this lethargic Casey Kurtz, I'm not really with it.
Well, I'm about to have some energy because I'm sick of it. Okay?
Okay.
Why? This is what's on my mind, by the way, sponsored by nobody. Why
jumped into that.
Does Urban Meyer never know anything in the press conferences?
Oh, this is going to be good.
And I'm sick of it. I listen to every single press conference because I cut them up for sound. He never knows who's hurt. I don't know. Why was James Robinson on the sidelines? I don't know. It wasn't my decision. You're the coach, dude.
It's the coach of the team. Head coach, as a matter of fact.
Listen, I was about to tweet out, and what I'm referencing is James Robinson being on the sideline for 16 or so plays. In crunch time when you could have scored points after a fumble. And I was going to tweet out that if James Robinson was benched due to fumbling, that Urban Meyer should be fired, right? I was going to tweet that out. But I changed my mind. I was like, you know what? I'm going to let this play out. I'm going to see what happens in the postgame presser. I'm going to see what happens. Didn't get question asked until like 5 or 6 in, so I don't know what the heck was going on in that room. Brent Martineau wasn't in there. That was probably the problem. Austin Lane was already halfway home because he's sick of it. Everybody's sick of it. You should be sick of it if you're listening because this is ridiculous. But he never has any clue like what's going on, and I can't get past that. Just like the weird energy that he has in these press conferences where he doesn't really answer anything and doesn't know who his players are. Like, I get it. He's kind of on the older side and he's had a lot of players, but like, and then even today, he followed up with didn't really give a good answer of why James Robinson was on the sidelines. And here's what it boils down to. They drafted Travis Etienne because they didn't like James Robinson. You can't convince me otherwise because it's a fact. And I know it's not a fact, but it is a fact, okay? And here's the situation with that. You screwed that up. It's not your fault Travis Etienne got hurt. I understand that, but it's a bad pick when your team is horrible. And guess what? You sign all these free agents and you thought the team was going to be better. They're still horrible. Okay, so that pick probably could have turned into something a little bit better than Travis Etienne because James Robinson is fine if you would just let him play. And if we're benching players for mistakes now, first of all, if we're benching people for mistakes, bench your offensive coordinator on a different bench on somebody else's team because he should be fired.
Yeah, I was about to say, that sounds like an unemployment line.
Okay, so let's go through people that could be benched due to making mistakes.
Okay, a list. I like lists.
Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
Should I keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Laviska Shenault. Marvin Jones.
Yeah.
All of the offensive line and the backups.
Yeah, that's like 5 to 10 people.
I mean, what? And you pick this one guy, James Robinson, who's your best player, and is like, nah, we're going to prove a point. You didn't prove a point other than you have no idea what you're doing. And I'm sick of it. James Robinson deserves better than the Jags in this. And if he hasn't figured it out now, I'm sure he's figured it out is the point. And we mentioned that a little bit from 3 to 6. But how many good players do you have to drive out of this city before you figure something out? So, James Robinson, you deserve better. I hope Brent Martineau tells you that on Jags Report Live at Fox 30 in about 20 minutes or so. That you obviously you can see that on Fox 30 with my guy Brent Martineau. James Robinson will join him, and I hope he tells him he deserves better. James deserves to be paid. He's a great player. Do not get me wrong. He deserves better than the Jags because right now the Jags are just embarrassingly bad. It's probably easier to be a Lions fan right now because the Lions don't have Trevor Lawrence and we do. By the way, I'm just going to say it. Trevor Lawrence.
Don't do it.
Don't
do it. Hold on.
Hold
No. Hold on. Because, see, you just came off that rant. That adrenaline is still hitting. And I don't want to cut you off because you're on a roll, but you were about to say something. See, the Florida Gator thing, you're going to regret. We talked about that off air. You're going to try to come back to them. You're going to regret.
Most likely.
But you're a bit heated right now. You're a bit emotional. And it's okay. I get it. Cool. But this Trevor Lawrence thing, watch your mouth, okay? All right? You got to watch your mouth with the locks of hair. You seen the Subway commercial?
I have.
Yeah. Hey, watch your mouth, okay? Now think about it. Now you can go.
I love Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be very good.
Absolutely what you weren't going to say, but maybe I saved you from something.
But this is what I was going to say.
What are you going to say then?
He's wildly inaccurate, and I can't figure out why. Everything's high, and some things are just, I don't get it.
Is he still hurt?
I don't think, I don't know.
Shoulder, but
I know. It's weird. The whole thing is weird. I don't know. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be great still. I'm not giving up on him, but it's not passing the eye test right now. And they can say whatever they want to say because that's the only player Urban Meyer knows is on the team is Trevor Lawrence and says by name consistently. But something's not right. I don't know what it is. I think he's going to be fine. It's probably just these guys are no good around him. That's probably part of the problem, but it just doesn't look right now. So anyway, that's on my mind. And yeah, so vague headlines, Brian Middleton, what do we have? I'm excited.
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get us back into a break real quick because you're going to need more than 90 seconds in order to get through these vague headlines. We got some good stuff coming up, though. Bet that. Believe that.
Sounds good.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE?
Ladies, your man should talk to the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
For a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center, call 904-664-8217.
See results on your first visit, guaranteed, or pay nothing.
Call 904-664-8217.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-333-1750. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-333-1750. That's 800-333-1750 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-333-1750. 800-333-1750.
Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialists on Merrill Road, where you get the work done right the first time by the experts. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. Our techs can service all makes and models, and we provide a nationwide warranty, so you have the peace of mind knowing we solve your transmission troubles fairly and honestly and guaranteed nationwide. Call us at Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road, where quality counts. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690. Brian Middleton, Casey Kurtz. We got some vague headlines for you in a second, which is my favorite part of the show. Real quick, though, we got a comment on YouTube. Trevor Lawrence, he's just a rookie and doesn't have enough weapons and not good protection. I could not agree more, but I don't know what it is. I think he's going to be great. Like, I just want to be perfectly clear that I still believe in Trevor Lawrence. I'm not the people you see on Twitter, although you can see me on Twitter at K Kurtz. You can see Brian Middleton at the Broadcast Dawn.
Okay, I see you right there, man. White Don King every day.
But here's the thing. The weapons are horrible. Agreed. Protection has not been good, especially from the right side. The left side's been better than I think people want to give it credit for. But, yeah, I agree with YouTube in this one where the weapons aren't good, and you had plenty of money to pay guys like Kenny Golladay or Curtis Samuel, who all, by the way, have not been good. Corey Davis as well. So maybe it was the right decision, but at the same time, how could it be the right decision when these guys are as bad as they are? So I appreciate the engagement, by the way, on YouTube. Feel free at any point in time to watch the stream on YouTube. We do it from 3 to 6 and Action Sports Jax Overtime. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch as well. Just search ESPN 690. You can find it on those platforms. Brian Middleton, vague headlines. Let's do it.
All right, man. As always, we got 6 topics, 6 headlines. I'm going to give you 2 of them. You choose which one you want to go with. I'll give you a synopsis, then I'm going to ask you a question. We may have a clip or 2 to play with each one, okay?
Let's do it.
All right. First 2. I have fans no matter where I work, or ba-da-da-da-da. Say that one more time. I have fans no matter where I work, or ba-da-da-da-da.
Okay. Give me I got to do the one like that we have, and that's fans anywhere we work.
I was hoping that you said that. Casey, do you remember a couple of weeks ago, me and you had finished up a show, and I was telling you, oh, man, I didn't realize that you knew all these famous people because of your autograph business.
Yeah.
You remember that? Do you remember who I absolutely stressed, besides Nikki Bella, who I stressed to you? I was like, hey, if you ever meet this woman.
She's still on my Instagram. Hold on.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
Well, like the search, maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay, well, I'll tell you who it was.
Cambridge.
Yep. And watch this, okay? Actual headline for I have fans no matter where I work. WNBA superstar Liz Cambridge launches OnlyFans after Olympic controversy.
Okay.
Yeah, an OnlyFans.
Yep.
So Casey Kurtz, look, she joked about this back in April. Back then, she said, quote, the amount of money I could be making off OnlyFans is crazy.
Yeah.
What am I still doing here? She also said this, quote, to me, my body is powerful. Yes, it is. We women bring life into this world with our bodies, yet we cover them up when we're such powerful beings. I'm so proud of my skin. I'm so proud of my 6'8" body and everything I can do with it. Amen. Now, just for scope, for the 2021 season, she was tied with 7 other players for the highest salary in the league, including names like Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Skylar Diggins, Lorena Deladon. Do you want to guess what that top salary is in the WNBA?
I don't, because there's no situation where it goes well for me.
All right.
Actually, well, I changed my mind on the fly.
Ahead. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, tick.
I'm in trouble. $3 million.
Oh, man, you acting plumb dumb right now. $221,450.
Wow, that's bad.
Is it? Because that's a lot of money
for
us regular folk.
It's good, but that's just like, I don't know. I should have just deferred.
But now here's the deal. Compare that to some of the top earners of OnlyFans this year, and they're making multiple millions.
Yes, correct.
Multiple millions. Names like Cardi B, Tyga, Jim Wolfie.
Who is paying for Tyga's OnlyFans?
I don't know, but he's like third on the list.
That's so weird.
About $7 million a month. I was like, no, this is a year. Nope, multiple articles doing research a month. So, my question to you, Casey, is this. Now, I know that you are a platinum member of multiple OnlyFans, pages. Have you ever considered starting one? Like, you're going to have fans that want to see every part of your life or, different aspects. Have you ever thought about starting an OnlyFans?
Every day? But I've realized that no one wants to see my OnlyFans. But yeah, I think about it often.
Okay.
I really do need money, so yeah, I
do too, man.
Yeah, who doesn't?
I have another friend. I won't say her name right here. Not that she's listening anyway. But I was talking to her last week, day after Thanksgiving, and I was like, "Yo, how much did you make?" Because she has an OnlyFans. And I got to tell you, love her to death, huh? Okay, this is gonna sound kind of bad. Hey, listen, let me just say this. She told me that she made $25K last year, not this year. Last year. This year almost over with. She wouldn't tell me, and I was like, "Are you still working at your job? Like, why are you still working at your job?"
Yeah.
Anyway, though, so it's lucrative, I guess, if you can make it happen. But yeah, hey, Liz, she joked about it in April. Now she's doing it. So maybe Casey, maybe January 2022, coming to a OnlyFans near you. All right, next two.
Maybe.
I'm with Spencer or a pet mom for real. I'm with Spencer or a pet mom for real.
Let's go Spencer.
All right, here we go. Actual headline, Lincoln Riley, we talked about it a little bit earlier, leaving Oklahoma to be USC's head football coach. Now, Casey, do you remember this from Lincoln Riley? Let me play this.
I'm just saying I'm gonna ask you about it, so I might as well. I mean, it's nonstop. I mean, it's every day.
Hold up, Gary. I'm not gonna be the next head coach at LSU.
I do. I played it earlier in the
Can
show.
I ask you?
Next question.
Yep.
Yeah, next question. Yeah, well, you know what, that may be
I
true.
forgot he paused so long.
Yeah, I know. It was like it was a pause to let the seriousness settle in, right? Like, I'm here, I'm committed. Except he wasn't. Of course, he went to become the new Trojans head coach after replacing the new Georgia Southern coach, Clay Helton.
That's right.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he had such a good record, 46-24 in 7 seasons. I mean, that's decent, I guess, kind of. It's like, 6 wins? Math's not my thing.
Yeah.
Riley called the football tradition at USC unparalleled. I don't know about that one. Okay.
Yeah.
He got it as soon as the 4 consecutive Big 12 titles and 3 college football playoff appearances in his first 4 seasons. Casey, my question to you is, have you ever left your current employer hanging like Lincoln has because you found a job you thought was better? Please don't lie, sir. I've known you for at least 12 months now.
Yes. Yeah, something similar, but it was not this employer. I'll tell you that. I can't tell you too much, but yeah, something not for the money that was on the table for Lincoln Riley, because I don't blame him. But yeah, you got to do what you got to do. You got to get a job that's better, and if that means you just one weekend say, hey, you know what, I'm good, and then go work somewhere else like the next Monday, you do what you got to do.
You do what you got to do. Just a fun fact: the other headline, pet mom for real. A lady on a Delta Airlines flight was breastfeeding her cat and wouldn't stop doing it. Yeah, it was more to it, man. You should have picked that one.
All right. We got one more?
Last 2. All right?
Yep.
Hot like the sun or eye doctor apparently can't see. Hot like the sun or eye doctor apparently can't see.
Gonna have to go with the doctor one.
All right. Hey, and when you got something as crazy as that, you know where that's at. Right here in Florida. Okay? Actual headline. A Florida doctor did laser surgery on a 91-year-old man's eye but the wrong eye. Yeah, an eye surgery mistake cost a Fort Myers doctor over $6,500 in fines and fees, according to the state of Florida Board of Medicine.
That's it?
Yeah, hey, that's actually the question right there. That seems a little light on fines. But according to documents, he intended to have, the 91-year-old intended to have the surgery on his left eye. It's actually called selective laser trabeculoplasty, SLT.
Okay.
Close enough. The nurse got everything right. The RN did. She put the right drops into the correct eye and passed them on to the doctor. And the doctor's just like, nah, you know what? I'm going to do it on the right eye. I'm assuming that I couldn't find anything else. So I'm assuming that the doctor or somebody actually did the right surgery on the old man's eye. It was because of glaucoma that he's trying to make sure that he's fighting that off. But that's my question to you. Isn't $6,500 a little light for fines?
Yeah. Yes, it is too light.
Can I get a lawyer? Doing? Can I get can I say any lawyers on here? I don't know what the rules are.
No, you can't. Don't say anything.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's just easier to tell you that way. Yeah, that is insane. That's way too little of a fine. That is crazy, but that is, that's Florida for you, I guess. So, yeah, the fine is definitely too little on that one.
All right, man. Well, you know what? Those are all of my topics.
Vague headlines. I like it.
I didn't play a bed with this time.
No, you didn't. You didn't. But that's fine. You do what you got to do. And there's no time for a bed now, but we do need a bed because we're out of time. So
okay, bars.
Yeah, I know, right? That was pretty good. Call me, I don't know, Lil Dicky. Do you like Lil Dicky?
Wow. I mean,
I like his TV show's pretty good.
Yeah, no, his TV show is funny. He's talented. You know, do I like him though?
Yeah, that's
two different things. But he's talented. Sure.
That's fair. Sure. All I like is good content. There's some of that coming up on Fox 30. They're going to call it Jags Report Live. Brent Martineau. Yeah, I know.
This boy's a ghostwriter for Drake out here.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay, I see you out here.
They're going to be doing that at 7 o'clock, so flip over to Fox 30. Come back here at 7:30 when that is done for Monday Night Football. You can hear all of Monday, Sunday, and Thursday Night Football right here on ESPN 690. That'll do it for us.
Well, hold on, Casey. We got a minute or so. Let me ask you one more question.
All right.
Okay? So I just want to make sure that we're clear. You're no longer a Florida Gator fan. But I just want to make sure that we are clear on that.
Well, here's the thing. When you go in the transfer portal, you can pull back.
Well done.
So
okay.
I'm going to put up a poll, and you can tell me new teams. Here's some options after really considering it. These are some teams that I low-key root for no reason. NC State on the table. Iowa State, as long as Matt Campbell stays their head coach, is in play as well. Those are really the only two I've thought of so far. I know Florida State is in my mentions, so they'll have to be considered. UCF will not be considered at all. Georgia will not be considered. USC is on the table because I like Lincoln Riley. Oregon has cool uniforms. They're on the table. Utah, got nothing against Utah. They are on the table as well.
Michigan? What about Michigan?
Yeah, it's on the table. I got nothing against Michigan, really.
You're like a Big Ten guy.
Yeah.
Don't you like Purdue?
Purdue's definitely on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some family that went to Purdue. Also have some family that went to Indiana, though, so there's a bit of a conflict there. Might just want to avoid that one altogether. But, yeah, plenty of options, lots of opportunities, so it's just whoever gives me the best package of fandom, I will strongly consider. Clemson probably off the table as well. Can't jump on while they're winning. That's just not a good look.
But are they winning? I mean, they're 9-3, but...
Well, no, I mean, of late. I mean, when you think of Clemson, you think of good.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just ran through my squad 30-0. I was like, Shane Beamer, knock it off. Coach, practice something.
I'm sure they do enough practicing.
Not enough.
Not
30-0.
Yeah, well, it is Clemson. So anyway, the opportunities are open. Please feel free to hit me up if you so choose. I'll make a poll. We'll figure it out from there. We got the Christmas music to play you out. We'll be back on Thursday, by the way. You can get more of this on Thursday. Brian will have something on his mind. And then Friday, Brian Middleton will be sitting in on Action Sports Jax from 3 to 6 because me and Brent Martineau will be on the Whirly Bird.
Jet setting.
We'll be jetting out to L.A. We'll be jetting on different planes, all commercial, by the way, no private jets. But we might be in a local airport near you. So if you see Brent, I can't really say what you should do. I don't know if he wants you to say what's up. You can say what's up to me. I'll probably ignore you. Just kidding. I'll be like, hey, what's up? How are you? But anyway, that's the situation. We'll be back on Thursday. Tomorrow, Brent Martineau, Austin Lane will be at Top Golf. Tuesdays at Top Golf. Brent Martineau's about to be on TV on Fox 30. Tune in. He's with James Robinson. Monday Night Football right here, ESPN 690, 730. We'll talk to you Thursday. Have a good night.
Just be positive. Your Community First Mortgage champions make sure you get a great rate, a quick close, and can save you about $3,000 in closing costs. Apply at communityfirstfl.org. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi there. I'm Mia. I'm Air.
You're Air?
Yeah. I just got out of the lungs